Welcome. Welcome to the vinyl.
Pop.
That was the longest fucking intro.
You don't like
Yeah.
that intro?
It's
Did
good
you
intro.
glaze,
It's
you
like
glaze over a little bit?
3 times too long. It's like my TV is stuttering.
It's
is-
just that special, though. Right? It's a
dumb.
very special episode tonight.
Yes. Yes. Welcome, Paul, Breakfast King. Whoa. That's right. That's right.
Oh, wow.
There you go.
Mazzy brings the guests.
That's right.
Brings the audience.
The problem with that intro is that Jason changes the length on us every week. So sometimes it's
No.
very short. Yeah, no, you do. We know you do.
You know, I think what that was the Moby remix. He did that before he dumped on Lola. We can talk about that later too.
Yeah. Moby. We can talk about it now if you want. What do you think about that? Why would he say that after, that thing came out in what, 72? That was,
1970.
70 over
1970.
50.
It's a different time, different place. And first of all, I guess he got Timothy Shamalama Ding Dang off the page for dumping on opera and ballet, and it's just a ridiculous thing. I mean, I like some of Moby's stuff, and sampling is great, and mashups are great, and taking all that Alan Lomax stuff that he did, and all became hits and all that stuff. But to compete with Ray Davis's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of great songs, great playing, great singing, great production, fuck you, Moby. That's my take.
Never underestimate Moby's ability to show his own ass.
I mean, Dick would be the perfect thing to put after his name right there. So.
Okay.
Hot
take right out the gate.
I better do some research. Made sense for me. I guess I'm behind the times.
He's and Moby's
He thought
behind
it
the
was-
times as well.
He basically said something about it was a disservice to transgender and this whole, like what really, like it's a putting down.
Oh, Moby said that. Okay.
About the song, like today, this week or whatever.
And then it wasn't Ray Davies, it was Dave Davies who, was
Dave-
saying like,
He defended him. Yeah, Ray Davis. Remember, it's Dave Davies, Ray Davis.
yes.
But he defended his brother. I mean, that's kind of like Jason and I talking to each other here.
No,
Ray
that's
and-
news. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, Liam and Noel were going to show tonight, but they had a previous engagement, so
Damn.
thought we'd bring out Mazzy.
Yes. So this stream is called Peace in the Vinyl Community. This is what Chris and Joel and and Dom, right? Yeah. We have the Wolfman, and now we have Norman Masloff. So Chris and Joel, tell me why you wanted to have this stream. Go. We'll put you in the hot seat.
I thought we were doing live music, so Joel can go.
You want to pass this? Come on.
Well, I'll tell you, so I met Jason through our friend Jeremy, technically through Terry, but I met Terry through Jeremy. And when I started doing this stream, Jason would tell me about the quote VC. I had no idea what any of that stuff was. I didn't watch any videos or anything like that. And I would hear him occasionally say some, not so nice things about people. And he would always insist I gotta, learn the history of all this kind of stuff and of Rachel's ghosts and all this kind of stuff. And I'm like, initially I was intrigued because I was like, I want to know what I'm getting myself into by doing these videos. At this point, I'm not a veteran by any means, but I no longer give a shit about any of it. And I just want everyone to get along. That's kind of, and it's not just you, Mazzy. It's Espo, it's Kevin Gray. It's pretty much anybody.
Kevin
what I
Gray
mean?
Oh, right.
I just want everyone to get along. Because at the end of the day, we're talking about music, which is the greatest thing in the world. And we're talking about records. There's no reason to bring negativity into it. So even if we can't all get along, there's going to be personality conflicts and whatnot. I just want people to get along. You don't have to like everybody, but at the end of the day, it is about the music, like what you say. You know what I mean? And So there's no reason, and plus I like teasing Jason. Jason's become a friend. I like teasing him. And so like, what's funny is like, he'll talk all this trash, right? And then he'll go to like conventions and take pictures with Espo, take pictures with, I don't know if he's gotten a picture with Kevin Gray, but when he went to VinylCon and I find out you were going to be there, I was like, you have to go and get a picture with him. And then he does. You know what I mean? Because like what you said, you said before the stream, it's like when you're hanging out with Jason in person, he's not going to talk shit, right? Like you realize we have more in common than we do have differences. So there's no reason to like be like that in person and then on YouTube videos, sit there and talk shit and stuff like that. And it's not just about us; it's also about the chat.
Yeah, and being a kid from the '90s, I always hoped that these beefs would end in a drive-by shooting and some conspiracy theory, but that's not going to happen here. I'm just kidding.
See, the best thing, and I don't mind that Jason says that I used to think it was funny. He always referred to me as Old Man Massey, and that's fine because I'm the oldest guy here, oldest guy in the room, and I went through some things. The things that really kind of turned me on when he said to people that Massey doesn't know anything about music. Well, I know about different music than Jason does. I don't know about all the pressings, Jason or anyone else. That kind of stuff kind of pisses me off, and then the shill stuff, and in person, it's been fine. So that was my whole thing, and after a while it gets old. So, and then Kevin Gray, I don't care about Kevin Gray. If you don't like Kevin Gray, why do you keep buying his records? But
I think too, like, I think I had a sneaking suspicion that when you guys bumped into each other in LA, which obviously you guys did, that there would be a classy interaction and the shtick would be explained and you guys would talk it out. So I knew not everybody.
I mean, we've met 3 times now, Jason. You and I have never had any personal, like in the person,
No. Yeah. Nothing.
Ever.
Right. When I went to LA VinylCon, and I explained this at Surface Noise, I would be cordial to anybody, if they wanted to talk, and Massey, like he ran into me. So, we just had a chat, gave each other a hug. Had some free Topo Chicos.
Give each other a hug, did we?
Wait, there was skin-to-skin contact at VinylCon?
No, we didn't have cappuccinos. We had that
Topo Chico.
Yeah, some kind of
fancy water.
Topo Chico, yeah.
That kind of reminds me. What was Lance there too? Because I remember that you had a similar experience with Lance.
Who did?
Permanent Lance?
Yes.
Yeah, he Jason, I remember you said you met him in person and you guys were, I guess, eating some barbecue or something. You kind of got to know each other and you kind of bonded a little bit.
Well, I mean, I've known Lance for like the past 15, 20 years, Jill. Like I've seen him, around. Mm-hmm. And then we really didn't talk until Den Bosch when when Lance invited us to his table, and then we just, Stunty hogged the conversation.
No.
As Stunty does.
So Stunty, we'll have another piece in the valley with you.
Yeah,
right?
we were at
coming soon.
Yeah, I stayed at Ronaldo in Walter's house a couple of years ago, and we had a little hangout there too. Yeah, I mean, I'm going to get grief on the next live streams after this next few days from certain people, obviously, but I'm always my own man, and the disagreements that I've had with Jason, I've said, either in comments on Contra Buddies things, or I'd said it to his face. He knows my take on that stuff.
Well, I want to just address the elephant in the room. There's reports coming from TMZ and the New York Times that you guys actually staged this beef to get views and clicks. Can you guys speak to that individually? Jason, why don't you go first?
No. Like I said, I was going to be cordial, and we spoke, and I wanted Massey, if he wanted to jump on the stream, and like we'd have a chat, Yeah.
I'm used to Jason's passive aggressive presentation.
No, it's not passive aggressive.
It's like a Andy Kaufman and Tony Clifton thing here or something.
But to Jason's credit, I will say this: since we've been doing this and other shows and stuff like that, he's always invited anybody that he's contradicting their opinion or critiquing their opinion to come on the panel. And Massey's the first one to really take us up on it, right? And so that's that's one thing I'll say about Jason. He's not veiling any of his shots.
You guys might not remember because you're not old man Mazzy like me, but there was a thing that happened in the late 60s, 90, whatever it was, called Nixon in China. Talk to your enemies, go to, talk to Chairman Mao and all the whole thing. I seriously believe in that. The whole thing when it happened, in fact, I do admire, I shouldn't say admire, that's too much. I'm not going to say admire Jason, I don't, but I appreciate years ago when that whole brouhaha, I don't want to get into it, but it comes out since we're doing Peace in the Valley here, of me and Michael 45, because we were tight doing a lot of, he started after me and he reached out to me and wanted to do a partnership with me at one point early on when he was just starting. And I didn't know who he was. He actually, and then called me and we talked and but he dropped me and we had this kind of falling out. And Rachel and other people said, well, why don't you talk to Michael? I said, I'm here. Anytime it comes up, I won't leave. I will talk to Michael. He won't talk to me. And Jason actually reached out to me when they were going to Den Bosch and said, what happened between you and him? And I said, frankly, I don't know. And of course, the reaction we'd get from Michael, the famous, you know what you did, Mazzy, that kind of thing. And I didn't know. And then I heard what I thought might have been it. But Jason reached out to me, I don't know if he wanted to make peace, but he went there. And I said, don't bother. If Michael wants to talk to me, he'll talk to me. So I do appreciate that. I did appreciate that. And then he dumped everyone else for 3 years after that. Everybody.
You're talking about Michael 45 here,
Yes.
aka the cuck. Like,
well,
what did you say?
What?
Joel, what are you talking about?
It's
Round
weird.
one, ladies and gentlemen.
What are you
I always thought it was weird what he does in his videos, where he just sits there and other people come on the stream and play music for him, like he's a cuck. It just seems
to give.
Well, he's
English is not his first language, so we don't speak other languages. So he listens a lot. So I will give him that.
okay.
That was going to be a T-shirt, by the way, Mazzy. You know what you did, but I never made it.
Wow,
I don't know. If we're cool with Mazzy now, half my material's out the window. I'm not quite sure what to add here. I guess if anybody wants to put themselves out there, I mean, we can spin the wheel at the end of the show, and you could be our next target.
Just redirect to somebody in the chat. Like, who's looking like they want to take a beating in the chat?
It's also really weird, Mazzy, that Jason calls you old man Mazzy, considering all he ever wants to talk about is like music from the 50s and 60s. Like when we were gonna have a stream talking about the 90s, he was like, "Do you think do we have 2 hours of material to talk about in the 90s?" And I was like, "How old are you, man? Like I thought you were my age. Like what are you talking about?"
You talking about me?
No, Jason.
Oh, Jason.
He said he didn't think we had 2 hours worth of material to talk about on a stream for the 90s.
Well, Jason was buying records in the 90s when everybody wanted doo-wop records and rare Buddy Holly and Dion, and no one gives a shit about that stuff now, but Jason still does.
Can someone respond or answer to Malay? She wants to know why I'm here. So you invited me, so someone answer that. I don't know.
Yes, we invited Mazzy because this.
As soon as we saw the photo of you and Jason on the stream, I was joking when I said it, but I was like, what we should talk about on Monday is we should talk about peace in the VC.
Right.
And Jason jumped on it.
I think people are wondering what the hell happened in LA.
It's those LA
led us
vibes
to this point.
Everything's easy breezy and sunny.
I met Mazzy at LA Vinyl Con. We spoke for a bit. It was a good time. Mazzy had I think you had like an interview to do, right? You had like a lot of stuff going on that day.
Well, I was at, if I say this, I'm going to sound like I'm shilling again, but
no, it's okay.
Discogs had a series of things. And okay, I'm going to admit this. I still don't know the guy's name, but this guy interviewed me for this Discogs. They do these videos or something.
I saw Alex sent me a picture of you talking with the person in question.
And I didn't know who he was.
Yeah, that was awesome.
120 minutes. And I remember that, but I never knew that DJ.
Matt Pinfield.
So, yeah, I didn't know.
Wait, you got interviewed by Matt Pinfield?
What the fuck?
That is huge. Are you kidding
Yeah,
me?
I'm surprised you never came across that guy in the 90s.
Well, you know,
Holy
I do
shit.
remember 120 Minutes because they did the experimental stuff. I remember the show, but I didn't get deep in what was that? Late 80s or early 90s?
No, it's the 90s, pretty
90s,
prime.
yeah.
Yeah,
And I
he's
watched,
Rarely all up in the 90s.
yeah, but I was still buying CDs, and I was raising. My son was born in 1990, and I just didn't follow the VJs. If it wasn't Martha Quinn, you know, I didn't know who they were, type of thing.
Well, we were gonna have Tabitha Soren tonight, but now that's at the fucking
yeah.
window.
So he
And Jesse, remember Jesse?
Yes, Matt Pinfield is definitely still alive. And
Apparently
as
he
you
had a
can't tell
cancer
by Chris and I's reaction, Matt Pinfield was a big deal.
Yeah.
He apparently had a cancer scare. He had been sick. I didn't know this. I didn't. I didn't.
What was
know
your
him.
discussion like with him? What were you guys
No,
talking
I think
about?
they're asking. I don't know. You know, Discogs. Let me just say this about that. Discogs has a PR firm, like the same PR firm that works with Chad Kassem now and Rhino, and it's a Surefire out of Brooklyn, and and I'm on their mailing list. Like every day, literally, I get 5 to 8 email PR things, and most of the stuff doesn't interest me. Doesn't really pertain. It's not my music stuff. It's mostly music related. But there's been things where they say they always say to people like us, "Do you want to cover this or talk about it?" And sometimes they've said, "Do you want to hear a link of something?" And I'll say, "Well, I don't really stream. If you have a record vinyl copy, I'll listen to it." And the stuff I get, we can call it chill, whatever you want to call it. If I enjoy it, I'll talk about it. There's stuff I get that I don't talk about because I'm not interested in me. But that they were talking about collecting and how I started collecting records and the usual shit they ask us, our YouTube channels, music, working in record business, things like that. 20 minutes, I think he talked to me, something like that.
I didn't know he was a Discogs guy. That's interesting.
I think he's brought on for this series for the show, like a freelance gig, whatever, I guess.
Well, I'm kind of regretting not going to VinylCon because I also heard Nightmares on Wax and Cut Chemist and others were there. And that would have been cool to go up to their table and meet them.
Well, we got Philly VinylCon coming up. I'm hoping to make that myself. If anyone's out there,
are you going,
Philly.
Tom?
I got invited by a friend who's there to stay with. So maybe, yeah.
The thing for me is like I would love to go to LA VinylCon, but just between flight and room and board, I'm like
it adds up.
Yeah,
Yes.
it adds up fast. Even I'm an hour away from
a friend I stayed with for 4 nights. That helped.
That's key.
Totally.
I'm an hour from WFMU and it adds up.
Yeah.
Well, we could always do like a Airbnb, right, with multiple rooms, kind of split it.
Don't do that.
That helps, but that gets pricey too.
Don't do that if Jose's your roommate, right, Chance?
Jose's in the chat. Shout out to Jose.
If we did that, we'd have to live stream like MTV Real World or something.
I'm just kidding, Jose. Come on.
We could do like a BC Real World. That'd be interesting.
Question for Mazzy here. Did you meet Billy Idol?
I didn't meet him, but there was an event that I was invited to from Shoreline. It was a Discogs hosted event at a showroom. I know LA pretty well because I used to go for work like 5 times a year for 20, 30 years. But in the design district by the Blue Whale, the design center, the big blue building there, all these design, like interior design shops. And one of them is called Reselia now. And it's a guy who has this company, and you'll say it's pretentious. It is, but it's beautiful stuff. They're these old time, like 50s stereo consoles, the long, low type, brand new wood, new things with turntable speakers, amps in set. They go from 15 to 20 grand. But it's a showroom, and it's for people who have money, who want that background music, and it's a pretty decent setup. But Discogs hosted a thing at their venue, and they had first Billy Idol was there, and there's about 50, 60 people tops. And he brought 6 records from his collection, and he was interviewed by, I forgot her name, but it's the daughter of Sly Stone. And I guess she has a radio show at KCRL or the Santa Monica station there. and he brought like Buddy Holly and Human League and a James Brown record, and James Brown record was super scratchy. They played one cut from each one and interviewed. There was a guy after we had to leave, and I can't remember his name, who was after Billy Idol, excuse me. But I didn't meet him. He was there, 5 feet from me, but he just kind of left after, didn't sign anything or hang out and talk to people really. But he seemed really shy, but it was pretty cool, I mean, Billy Idol are the same age, so.
Really?
Yeah, that Discog series is cool. They don't really push it, but if you go on their YouTube page, they have those talks probably like once a month, and there's some pretty well-known artists, but no one as big as Billy Idol's been on it. But they have like a lot of local DJs. Actually, Wolfman, a lot of hip hop DJs go on there, which is pretty cool.
I think they're trying to.
Doesn't surprise me.
The last year or two, they're trying to have a presence, like market themselves to, and they realize. And I talked to one of the guys. They realize all the people who bitch about the app and all that stuff, and I don't know if they'll do anything about it, but they like to hear from people like us. At least they say they do. Whether they actually accomplish something, I have no idea.
Yeah, they're running those ads all the time too. I keep seeing that guy talking about VG records are a bargain on Discogs.
What VG records?
You ever seen this guy?
No.
Yeah, it's the it's the ads that come up on all the channels that have ads, and I'm like constantly getting annoyed by. It's a Discogs ad that's on YouTube, in between videos.
Is it because you refresh your Discogs 45 times an hour? You think
More like 60. I'm glad you remembered that though, Chris. Yeah, it's a straight up Discogs spot talking about how you can save money by buying used records on Discogs. What a shocker. What a great idea.
So, Mazzy, you're saying Billy Idol brought scratch records?
That's awesome.
And they played it. They played them.
But yeah, they played them on the same. The problem is, just in terms of the gear, I couldn't tell if it's a good sounding thing, because when you got 50 people in a room, it's really just like a big 2-part living room. It would be like a house. It's a small showroom, like a furniture place.
But they charge $50 a pop, like that place in Austin.
No, it was free because you had an invitation.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh.
And but they had beer and wine and a few snacks and things. Cocktail. It was just a presentation. But he brought these records. The Buddy Holly box, which I have from the '70s one, has some hits, but it's mostly like Lubbock, Texas radio recordings and things. It's that box set. But, I bought it when I worked in a store. I forgot what it was. But it's hard to hear. I kind of wanted to hear the fidelity of these things. Not that I'm in the market or would pay that to buy one of those. For that price, you could get a really nicer stereo. But it would have been nice to hear how they sound with all the people there and talking and chatting. You couldn't hear how good the fidelity was. But he talked about a song on each record, but especially the last one, I guess, that I'm Black and I'm Proud, that album, it was so scratchy, but it just shows that a lot of the musicians don't give a shit about fidelity and sound and everything, just about the music.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about, Wonky Ramon.
Yeah. Oh.
Thank you, Mark. I mean, Pat. Welcome, Pat. I mean, Pat here. Come on, Pat. We've got to make peace, We're
trying to set an example for the,
This whole community is too small for there to be like infighting, right? Like,
it's so tiny. I was watching this documentary with my wife about the board game community. Have you guys seen this? There's
I heard about it.
Intense board game community that's doing basically the same thing we're doing, except they're collecting board games. And they have the Board Game World Series, and everyone gets together. Like, I was looking at some of the screenshots of content creators that make videos, and I'm like, oh, it's got to be way, way lower than like the vinyl community. No, blows away the vinyl community. Like, in terms of like the lowest person has like 10,000 subs.
Wow.
Yeah. So this is small potatoes.
Absolutely.
It was a good documentary, by the way. I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head, but it's pretty new.
When it comes to this question, The feeling that I get, Jason keeps telling me he's going to explain everything, and he never does. It seems to me like nobody is really interested in digging it up, right? So it feels like we just have to get beyond it. Right?
Well, Joel, let me tell you, I went down to Austin for the Austin Record Convention, and I did the whole vinyl community meet and greet thing. And my very next step in life was to declare myself no longer part of the vinyl community, if that tells you anything. So, make of that what you will.
Lone wolf, obviously.
And there's the beef.
It's just like high school and different cliques and different things.
Well, Joe's a good example here. Joe Carbon Record, he's been running a record label for 30 years, long time, deep music listener. And he's just more recently been like, oh, what's going on with this vinyl community? So it's like, in a sense, he's new to this whole VC thing, but he's just as deep, if not deeper than anyone else in terms of like a collector, label rep or label owner. And you know what I mean? So it's like, he's getting involved in this VC thing as a new person, and it almost feels like a whole new world, but he's like been around doing it for a long time. But this idea of this drama and like people talking, shit about each other has got to be strange in a way, I think, for someone, been in music for a long time.
Yeah, that was my main concern. I didn't really come out and tell Jason this, but my concern was, at the time I was getting ready to open up a record store, try to get more involved in all this stuff. And I was like, what am I getting myself into? Like, I don't want to shoot myself in the foot of like getting myself involved in something that's going to I'm going to regret later. Right.
You mean drama in record store things?
Well, I just didn't want the record store to be associated with something with an unknown. To me, it was unknown. Like, you know what I mean? Like, am I going to get associated with stuff that I don't even know what it is? You can kind of think of it like that Hawk Tua girl, right? She did that meme coin. She had no idea what it meant. And she gets herself all roiled up in a bunch of drama when she has no clue what's going on. That's how I was. I got in. I just met Jason. He seemed like a nice guy. We're doing this video with him and Chris, and then I hear about this drama, and it's like, I don't want the store to be tainted by. At this point, I know enough about it to know that it's fine and it's nothing that bad. But at the time, I didn't know. Right.
The thing about the idea of drama, like we all know that can sometimes be overstated, and it can be made to seem like a bigger deal than it really is. Like, a little bit of drama sometimes goes a long way. You know what I mean? In a negative way. Like it ends up, owning the story or whatever, which is not really the case. Most of what this community is talking about records and music. So,
yes,
I've never met anyone in the vinyl community I think I've met over 100, maybe 150 people now around between the New York show with you when I met you guys with Dom and Jason then, and then of course Austin and LA, and I went to Chicago last year, 2 years ago, year and a half. I went to London. I've had the best times with everyone. There was never any like freak shit happening. Nothing. It was so chill.
We had a grand old time.
Even Rob Walker, who's here, is always putting the shitty emoji. Was actually a pretty nice guy. In person, he's a shithead on, when he makes comments, but in person, he's great. Same with Jason. He's fun in person, and he makes his shithead comments when he comes on these things about us.
It was a joke. I enjoyed meeting you guys. I had a good time. I'm kidding around.
Even Concert Buddy was nice in person.
Yes.
Oh my God.
I think it's disrespectful. We don't take anyone seriously that wears a wolf mask. I think that's really the big problem with the
I didn't
VC.
want to say anything about that.
It's fucked up. I'm sorry, Nate. Sorry.
It's a hard road I've chosen.
Usually it is the people in the galleries and that are hiding behind fake names and fake things and the troll stuff. But my troll comments have really kind of, petered out. I don't really get many. I mean, I get once in a while like one, but for a while, as you get more people watching, you get more people bitching and saying shitty things.
Yes. At the end of the day, that's all just noise,
Yeah, you have to have thick skin to do this, really, I think.
Yeah.
I love getting them. I always screenshot all the really negative comments I got. I get a kick out of it.
Oh, I repost them on Instagram.
I think they're great. I've had some really amazingly funny ones too. Like that one I always talk about is some guy said generic New York face man talking emotional about records. I just thought it was the greatest. It might have been a bot, but it was like, this is so on point. Yes, you get me. User 54321, turd or whatever it is. You understood me in 5 seconds.
Breakfast King knows what's up right here.
The map does need to come back, Joel. The Austin Record Fair is coming up. We all need to know where to go to get good food in Austin and where to park. So you should get that map ready.
I was just text this picture.
Should I make you big?
Yes, just for a minute.
Oh my God, that's amazing. You guys did everything there. You guys did it all.
If your friends send you shitty things, there's a problem. But you see, that stuff I would laugh at. I did laugh at. I am laughing at.
Jason, you said you would never do that with anybody else but me, and now you're doing the same thing with Madison. It's fucking, what the fuck, dude?
Elliot, I saw Elliot earlier ask, now can you guys talk about music, get off the drama thing? But isn't kind of that, when I was invited, this piece in the vinyl community is kind of the point of the beginning of this, right?
Yeah.
Am I wrong?
No.
We'll talk about music and whatever you got at the show. I will say I had a good time at the show, and I don't know, again, I'm not going after grails or really high end stuff anymore, like you guys are really rare thing. I'm past that or off that. And so Jason, you got to tell, how was this compared? I would think New York has more collectible stuff, like stuff from Europe and thing, more than this show. Is that right?
Yes, that is true. I think there were maybe like 3 to 4 UK dealers there. And yeah, they sold a lot of stuff. Like my UK friend, like his friends were selling at the show, and they were selling like a lot of Beatles and associated records for a lot of money, People were hungry. This is the first vinyl con where the early birds sold out. So that's a success in a way.
Would you say it was more casual buyers or just like a general mix of, seasoned people or new people or what?
I think it was a mix, but probably mostly seasoned, and people were ready to flip. I'm going to be honest here. Like people were, that sort of setup time on Friday and Saturday, people were trading. So it was like a serious endeavor. Kobe, if you're watching, Kobe, who runs Vinyl Con, thank you for letting me and my buddy come up the elevator a couple minutes before, and we had a swell time. That 20 minutes was necessary to get through a lot of the stuff.
The space, I thought the space was good in terms of it. Even when it was full, it never seemed as crowded as WFMU when it gets really crowded.
That is correct. It
was easier to maneuver to anywhere.
It's New York. Everything's crowded.
It was bigger than the Atlanta Vinyl Con for sure. But there was like more dealers in LA. Like it was hard to kind of like get through everything. Like I didn't get everything.
Was one day enough?
Well, this time,
do it.
Yeah, you could do it. It would be rushed, but like you would do, the general rule of thumb is you'd wait until Sunday and then try to make the big deal on like a hot item on a Sunday that didn't sell,
Mm-hmm.
But there were a couple pieces like that I saw, like Cut Chemist, as Joel knows, that DJ guy, like he was there and he was selling from his private stash, and I had missed this amazing free jazz record by like a couple minutes. I just missed out, and I was like, oh man. And then it didn't dawn on me until I left, like, wait, that was Cut Chemist. Like this dude is selling his personal collection. That's amazing. And I like saw Egon from Now Again, but I avoided his table clearly. I didn't want to pay his prices. So see you later.
That's premium. Doesn't DJ Shadow is done well? I know he did like a private fair, I think, a couple years ago, but he didn't turn up at this, right?
I did not see him.
Yeah.
And people were asking me where was Elijah Wood. I did not see him either.
Oh.
Someone said they saw my video. I didn't look at the timestamp. He posted the timestamp, but I haven't had time. that said he saw Fred Armisen, but I don't know if that's true. It could have been a lookalike. I'll have to look at the timestamp in the comments on one of my videos.
Elijah Wood's records all have ringwear.
Good.
Is there any
Yes,
truth to this?
backstage, right in your. No, okay.
He's tied up in the next room.
Jason, is there any truth to this right here?
This is true. So I did not go to this Sunday at LA VinylCon. I went to Vegas with my friend, and we were digging at 2 record stores, and it was actually amazing. We went to Wax and Tracks, and we also went to Moondog Records, where they had a signed Morrissey record that I tried to buy, and then started trying not to laugh about the price that was told to me. And then he also had that Led Zeppelin box, that big audiophile by Classic Records. And then
The road case.
Yeah, the road case. When I asked him how much the road case, it was like no hesitation. He was like $15,000, and I was like,
I sold Coffee Dave's. I had it in my possession for 6 months for selling it for him. I ended up selling them for $9,500 on Discogs.
Wow.
This would have been 4 years ago, though. And I listened to them all. I didn't love it. And to me, the one-sided 45 thing is like silly beyond silly.
well, it's clearly a gimmick. Like that was something
It's a good footstool when you're trying to climb up to higher records.
Will go well with that George Harrison case you have, right, Mazzy?
Well, yes. That's only like 900.
Oh, you're the one that bought it.
I am. Yeah.
Wait, you're saying I can still get that? Is it still out there?
Oh yeah.
I think about myself having something ridiculous like that here. I got a bouncing turntable. I got no room for records. The idea of me slamming down like a road case here, trying to play single-sided 45 RPM records is hilarious.
What if it was the John Fahey Uber box?
Oh, sure. Yeah, I'm in. I'm in. No, I don't. Yeah, I mean, if that's like your artist, I get it.
Yeah.
Yes, in a way, but it depends. Like Atlanta, because it was much bigger area and like lesser dealers, it seemed a bit more crowded in Atlanta just because of. But LA was super packed, probably in the middle of the day. Like there was like a line to get into LA VinylCon. Like the line below was extending, and my UK friend was like, "Can we take the stairs?"
Well, that's the problem. The only problem in terms of the location, it's this new old building that was totally gutted, renovated. They have like a lot of trade shows there, fashion, all this kind of stuff. It's on the 10th floor, and there's 6 elevators. I don't know how many are operating. So everyone has to get in an elevator with 8, 9 people at a time. So think of that.
God.
Yeah.
I'm good.
But it was.
And the VC's not known for their deodorant.
I had a vendor through Record Collector News. Jim got us. I had a vendor thing, so I went in at 9:30, which is great. But
Now, what about the local food options? As you guys remember, in Queens a few years ago, it was abysmal.
you could walk. We went.
It's
We
close enough
walked.
to things. Okay.
We walked like 6 or 7 minutes to a really good Mediterranean restaurant, a nice sit down with drinks, and it wasn't a fat food, but it was a nice. But there they had. Well, they didn't really have food there, but they had like Monster drink free, the Monster Energy shit. They had they had an espresso stand, which was great, which is good, like real espresso machine, which I love, of course. And they had a few things, so they didn't really have food there, as I recall. And I did have one bar with beer, wine, cava, prosecco shit. Like it's LA, you got to have that.
Yeah.
So,
How are the prices compared to, and this is, Maz, you can answer this from your FMU history, but for Jason, like compare the prices to WFMU, Atlanta VinylCon, Austin, like was it way different, or were they everybody about the same as what you've seen around the country?
Jason.
Sorry about that. Say that again, Chris.
So talk about the price. Thanks for paying attention. Talk about the price.
Hey, it's my show. I'll pay attention if I want to.
We have a new beef forming right in the
yeah.
That's right.
Talk about pricing. How did it compare to WFMU, Atlanta, Austin?
Ooh, so pricing. If the record was hot, of course it was priced high. My buddies from Slolo, those guys from Albuquerque, they had I think $500 or $600 on Tim Maya Rationale Volume 1, which is this, of course, amazing Brazilian. How would I describe that, Dom? Like amazing Brazilian and R&B, but twisted with alien themes. Like he's talking about UFOs picking him up and taking him to the next
It's
utopia.
It's psychedelic fusion. It's a mix of samba. It's a whole. Yeah, he's amazing.
So if that thing, Chris, was priced at like 500 or 600, it was gone in probably the first 2 hours. When I asked about it, he looked behind him and he was like, "Oh, I guess we sold that." I was like, "Sold that? What the hell?" You know?
And there's volume 2, which is the volume 1's the rarer one? Or they're the same? I forget.
No,
they're like
I
the
think
same cover, isn't it?
Yes, I think volume 2 is the rarer one, but I think volume 1 goes for more than volume 2, which doesn't make sense.
So is that 5 or 6 in line with what you would expect it to be, or?
Well, no, I think that record's probably worth between, in my opinion, 2 to 4. But when it was being sold for 5 and 6, that just changed the value for that record.
Yeah,
I thought, for my taste, even though I'm not a deep collector like you guys in that respect, I thought the WFMU had more interesting, cooler, rare things, more expensive things that I would like than the LA show. Now, it depends on the booth and everything. I was more amazed at the stuff I saw at WFMU for the most part, but I don't look at a lot of the stuff that you guys look at, and maybe because it's like more foreign. Because again, it seems to, at least if I remember, it have more of the Euro things coming over, and I could be wrong about that.
Some, not a huge amount, but there's definitely a good handful of European dealers. I wish there were more.
Right, me too. Yeah, the people in LA have money to spend. It seems like more.
I'll find it.
Did you buy anything at the VinylCon, Mazzy?
I bought 5 records and nothing rare, and they're packed up, so I don't have them to show. Nothing rare or expensive, really. I can't even remember right now what I bought. Things that I wanted copies of musically, and because I'm over buying something. Like if I even said to Jason when we chatted, when we had our Love Fest on Saturday, that if I have a record that's worth $300 or $500 or even $150, and I have a really good sounding a pretty good sounding $20 or $40, $50 record, I'll sell the expensive one now. I don't need the artifact anymore at all. I'm selling, like, I hate to bring up Beatles here, right? But I'm selling all my, my foreign Beatle boxes. I have that black mono box from '82 that's only 1,000 copies, and I'm trying to sell. I'm going to start promoting. I sold a French box, a German box. I used to buy every box because that was collecting, and they're hardly, in fact, some of them were never played. And I have multiple copies. I probably have 10 to 20 copies at least of every Beatle record in various incarnations, and so I don't need those anymore.
So you're going to get a table at one of these conventions?
No, I do Whatnots.
Trade them for a road case.
Whatnots works great for me. I mean, part of it was I brought over some of my YouTube viewers, and I do it. And, I know there's a group of people that hate this, people who do auction on YouTube, whatever, give me a fucking break. But to me, it's easier on Whatnot because the label's printed out. You don't have to do all the shit. You don't have to track down money. It's just like, it's so easy if you build an audience there.
Yeah, I need to do a Whatnot auction. Actually, I should talk to you about that, Mazzy.
Yeah. I learned from that woman Eski, who worked as a librarian, and she now is full-time doing it. She does like 3 to 4 a week, but she's at every show, at every store. She's buying stuff all the time.
It's pretty amazing. I've been following her. It's pretty amazing.
She has 2 kids. She's divorced, and and so this is her job now, and she's making a good living. I don't know how good living, but she's making a living.
It would be tough because you would always, like those Whatnots, you would always have to have something new, right? Something to sell.
Yeah, but there's different audiences. And I've found every time I do one, 60% of my buyers, so I've done maybe 6, I do one a month only, 60% of my buyers in every auction are new buyers. When I did the YouTube thing, it's the same wankers that watch me. So, and I do rebroadcast it live on YouTube just when it happens, so people can watch it, and they don't have to. There's a lot of people just like to watch this shit, whether they buy or not. You can't buy on YouTube for whatnot, but you could stream it there, like InGroove does it. He's making a bundle. Those guys, Dylan, they're making a bundle on that.
Yeah. I did one, and it was horrible. I swore I'd never do it again, but maybe I need to.
You got to build like anything else. You got to build an audience. Yeah.
No, I have a whole thing I'm doing with my son. I bought a cheap record collection for my son as a way to make money. He's 14. He wants to start making some money. He doesn't have it. He wants to get a summer job. I'm like, it's not summer yet. So I bought this cheap record collection of like clean records, but sleeves are all bad. Like damage. You got water damage sleeves. I'm thinking we might be able to give them away. Start them at $1 and see if we can get them, and see if we can make. I do that with him in tandem. So that's hopefully going to be a Whatnot idea.
Way to guilt us into that one, Don. Damn.
Yes, right.
I'll be buying a lot of dollar records.
Hopefully they'll go 4 or 5 though, right?
All right, fine. 4 or 5.
Will you bid them up to 4 or 5 each? All right, sweet. My son, he's trying to make a name for himself here. Come on.
I mean, the Whatnot people were wild. I mean, they came to the Awesome Record Convention maybe 2 years ago or 3 years ago, and they were going around giving us all like discounts to sign up. And there was a guy going around like doing live auctions at the convention, like asking people in chat what they wanted. Then he'd go around all the tables and find it, and then do an auction.
That's the phone a friend thing. You did this, didn't you, Jason?
Yes.
What do you call it? Yeah, that was going to happen for a while.
Yeah.
Whatnot used to have a woman, in the tech world, she probably doesn't work there anymore, and like a reach out woman is her job. They're a tech company, like out of San Francisco, another tech company, and obviously vinyl is only one small part of it. People make a living selling clothes and jewelry and and you have to be in your category. You can expand categories, but you have to be within your category, and it's. The process is easy because when I used to do the YouTube things, get everyone to pay me, give me your address, we type your label, it's all done. You don't collect. They take about 12-13%, and when the stuff gets delivered within an hour or two, it's in your account there, and you can transfer whenever you want.
What kind of fees do they have?
It's like 10 or 12%. There's no fees to do anything. It's just when you sell, they get 10 or 12.
It's turnkey though. It's good for as a buyer and seller because you have your account information is your card is loaded. So as soon as you win the auction, it's deducted. There's no transactions that need to.
I don't have to pound people for money. It's there.
That's the cool thing about it.
Yeah, it's great. I mean, to me, it's worth the 12%, 13%, whatever it comes down to. Once you're a higher seller, I think probably like Esky, I don't know, 1,000 units, whatever. I think you get paid right away. You don't have to wait until the thing's delivered, I think. But I don't mind waiting. Usually it's 5 to 7 days tops, the furthest person away. But like every day something arrives, it goes in my account. I just wait till the end of the week and then I transfer whatever's there. I think once something was going to Scotland, and that's what's great about it. If you do that, you print the stuff out and all the custom papers are printed. You don't have to punch in and fill shit. You don't have to weigh anything because if you do one record, you just do like 1 to 2 pounds. A box set, obviously, you have to weigh, but you put that in when you're uploading. You do have to upload the images and the things, and you could have buy nows. It's actually pretty interesting. And then, of course, what happens now? They have to pay sales tax and shipping, so there's that. But that's not on us, and you have to deal with any of that shit. But it's very ingenious. Like if someone buys 6 records, they're not going to get charged the $5 or whatever it is for five times $25 shipping. It calculates it. It knows that, okay, 5 records is not 5 times $5, whatever that is. So it's great.
The thing I noticed about Whatnot, and I don't knock anybody for this, I've been very clear about my opinion on it, is that, I think you talk about Espo or Dylan doing it, they fetch a lot for the stuff they purchase because they have a following. And they get into that auction mode. Like, so there's the personality, the brand that they've established,
absolutely.
Which all kudos to them for, no knock on them at all. And then people get in the heat of the moment, and that's where they really make a killing,
Yeah, that's why. And not to take away from Escape, when you have a young, good looking woman too, you get that factor, another 20% on the sales, maybe from some people, like it just happens. It's a natural ability, I mean,
But what planet? How are they paying $56 for like Foreigner 4? I don't understand that. Like,
not everyone has a record store near them, and a lot of people. We're lucky that we go to these record fairs and record stores, and a lot of people don't have friends to talk about records and music. I mean, that's why people watch our YouTube channels. People in the audience here. I mean, you could ask them how many people have a friend their age they grew up with, especially Old Man Mazzy Inc. have friends that they still talk about music. I'm fortunate I do. A lot of people don't.
Well, that might be true, but it's still a total head scratcher to me when you see someone paying $60 for a tone poet that's still available directly from the Blue Note store.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that happens on. Yeah.
You see, anywhere. I saw it on Esposito's whatnot.
Yeah, but that happens on YouTube and on eBay too. I mean, it's it happens everywhere.
It seems like Whatnot though, for the most part, that I've been where I don't know, it's something in the water or something when you sign onto that thing, you lose all consciousness or something.
That kind of stuff used to really bother me, but it doesn't as much anymore. Like, because you never know someone's circumstances, right? Like someone could be on a fixed income and they have the money to spend and they want the record. You know what I mean?
No, I get it. It's just, if you took a couple of minutes aside and be like, wait, maybe I should just look this up somewhere else.
No, I mean that's like that's an education issue, and maybe they want to take the time and educate themselves later. To see that they may have overpaid for something.
And what I'm wondering is if maybe it speaks to like who's on there. It's newer buyers, essentially.
Whatnot does not give you time to research.
Yeah,
is part of the problem. You have about 12 seconds.
Well, the thing is, people don't understand like Whatnot. You can look at what's being being sold for that day, right? So then you could do the research.
You can look ahead. Yeah. Everything I'm selling is posted.
That is a good point.
A day before. I mean, sometimes a week before. I tend to be more last minute, unfortunately. But you can keep an inventory, and you can have buy now things too if you want. It's when people do. There's people that will yell at me or whoever does these auctions, whether it's YouTube, and say, God, that you're taking advantage of your audience by selling these records. People need to grow up. People buy what they want to buy, whether Jason or Dom or I sell the record. I'm not going to take any responsibility. I'm not selling them drugs or vinyl, I guess. But, they do it. And I think one time someone had a buyer's remorse on something. He inboxed me and said, my cat hit the keyboard. Like, give me a fucking break. And I just hated it. I don't want to fight the guy. If he doesn't want it. He said that.
And you didn't type back, I hope your cat loves this box set.
Yeah. I don't even know where it was. It was like something for $60 or $70. And I just deleted it. I put it in the next auction, whatever.
The amount of times I've gotten people responding to transactions with like, my mom just died. Like, I've gotten that way too many times for it to be true. Like, I'm like, just tell me you want to return it. I'll happily take the thing back. It's like, you don't need to spin this whole tale. Like, I'm sorry I haven't responded, or I'm sorry, like, it took me a month to get this back to you. I'm like, I'll just give it back to you. It's fine. I don't need this, this whole charade.
Unlike Discogs too, you actually see the copy you're selling. It's like eBay. Maybe you don't see in all the details and stuff, but I try to answer questions. It does go fast, so you can't answer every question. But you hold the record up, you see the cover. If there's a seam split, you show it. If you try to, at least, Discogs, you never see the copy you're getting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a fault of Discogs that they haven't stepped up with pictures, audio samples, because that's what happens. You'll DM the seller and say, "Can you send me a picture of this? Can you give me a snippet of the recording or whatever?" There's so much they could do to make it a more buyer friendly environment.
Do you want to be responsible for all the water? Do you want to be the responsible, Chris, for all the water needed for the cooling for those servers to have?
Please
take some of the water that's under the bridge between Jason and Mazzy. Use some of that.
I'm glad there's a wolf between us.
That's strategic. Mm-hmm. We got Wyoming Dave on the outside door, Wolfman in the mid in the arena itself.
Can I since we're okay? I don't know. It's a Jason show, so he's the host and I'm a guest.
Well, it's the social club. You see how this is happening, right? It's just happening as we
This
unfold.
is good. I'm enjoying myself. I'm meeting some new people. I need to get out and meet new people. I'm trying to start dating the same old people all the time. But can we stop the shilling shit now from now on?
Well, I think
You can do it in a fun way.
Well, I think I'm gonna like again the whole thing with the peace thing, like whatever you want to do and others, like it's time to make peace and move on.
Okay.
Like if you guys like, I don't have any problem with it. If somebody has a problem with it, then like
well, sometimes I will be on certain streams and someone else will say it, but I mean, it doesn't mean.
Well, I mean, I can say like maybe I don't like the stream, but I don't have to watch it. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And that's then I think everybody knows in the panel, in the chat, like I just don't,
Well, let me ask you this, Mazzy. So I'll just, as an outside person, I will tell you, first of all, if you own a store like Espo, people calling Espo a shill, like he owns a store. Of course, like what you call shilling is another person calls being a good businessman. But when it comes to first of all, I'm not quite sure how exactly you people call you a shill. Like I'm not sure what shilling you're doing. But that being said, I think if you get a promo, like how would you respond to this? If you get a promo or you're being paid to do a some sort of video about something, like why don't you just come out and say that's what you're doing?
Fair enough. A couple questions. I've never been ever, I'd like to, paid to do a video. No one's ever, I've never had sponsorship. I've never been paid to do a video. So that's off the table. I've said, even on my things, I would love to have spirit companies, gin companies have money. If a gin company came to me and said, we'll sponsor you and do a thing with Martini, I would do it. I would take it and I would say it. Whenever I show promos whenever I get a free promo, I say, Rhino sent me this thing or Kraft sent me this. I always say that. There's one dickhead that comments, and I won't mention his name in a lot of these streams, that says you have to push that button that you're paid to do this. I fucking disagree with that. Promos. And I have history like Dom going back 50 years when I worked at my first clerk job at the Warehouse Records. I got a promo of a Warner Brothers Grateful Dead record. The people get promos. Record store clerks get promos, or they used to. Managers, buyers, radio station DJs, reviewers. And then if you say that, or if I say that, people say, well, how can you compare yourself to Ralph J. Gleason of the Chronicle, or whoever I'm not a critic like that, but YouTube is the new thing. I bet you a lot more people here watch YouTube than read Rolling Stone anymore, or Pitchfork, or whatever. So record companies when we have a lot of viewers, people like me have a lot of subscribers, they've started the last couple of years to realize that. So they send us promos. I probably get 10 to 15 promos a month now. Now, I don't show everything I get, but a lot of stuff I get, I like, and I show it. And I have criticized things for different reasons, but they tend to send me the stuff I like more than I don't like. If there have been a few indie artists who send me stuff that I really don't like, in that case, I just don't bother showing it because I don't want to dump. I like Dom's records. I bought those records, but if Dom had sent me one, or a couple people like that have sent me promos of their records, and I didn't really love it, I just don't want to kick someone who's really putting all their personal money in it. It's not my thing. Doesn't mean someone else isn't going to like it or is going to, So that type of thing. But a major label or a medium-sized label, if they have a problem with a pressing, and I've certainly said that, so I announce it.
That's all well and good that you announce it, but and you can have your opinion on the matter, but YouTube as a platform is pretty clear about the fact that if you're receiving a product from someone and ostensibly reviewing it in your video, that is paid promotion, and that is what the checkbox is.
Well, I don't totally agree with that, but I mean, for instance, okay, I did say the one big item I did get free. I got a Humming Guru Nova. Okay, that's $750 or whatever it is. I bought the first one. I had the first one, and I did a video on that, and I paid for it. And Amanda and I, the archivist, when she was here during the pandemic, we paid for that, and we did an over-the-top funny video that Michael Fremer had a shit fit because we were drinking martinis and doing our shtick and stuff. And they saw it. And when the Nova came out, they reached out to me. We'd like to send you one. You want? And I already knew the product, so I know how I like it, and I reviewed it. I didn't, and I said this was sent to me by Guru. They didn't pay me money. They didn't do anything. I didn't click a box that said, if you watch the fucking video, it says I got this free from the.
Hey, so Mazzy, I'm just out of curiosity, I don't even know what this button is you guys are talking about, but what's the problem with hitting the button?
That was my question. What's your resistance to? Is it just you feel like it's gonna change your relationship with viewers, or?
I don't care about I don't care about, I don't know, because it says, if were you paid to do this? And I just interpret it. Have I been paid money? I don't know. So that's.
Well, no, I think getting a product, I do think getting a product is equivalent to getting paid. But what does hitting the button do? Like, does it stop you?
That's a good question.
Monetizing?
I don't know. Someone.
So what? So I'm curious. So I mean, you seem to be really resistant to wanting to do it.
Because I'm consistently, I don't do it. Maybe I'm being reactionary to the fucker that keeps.
So Mazzy, I'll tell you this. I'm not familiar with the button, and I don't know how it works in this space, but I'm familiar with other spaces where people do paid promotions, and they do hit buttons. I've seen them on like Twitch and other places where it's really clear it's a paid promotion thing,
and they're getting paid money.
And it's not really that big of a deal. You know what I mean?
Right.
Well, I mean, but you're monetized, right? So you're making some money from YouTube.
Oh, I'm making money from the commercials that appear on my. Yes, I am making.
Yeah,
money.
but I mean, if they give you if someone is sending you a Nova for free, which, by the way, if Humming Guru is watching and want to send me one, I'll
take a degrader, please.
Yeah. So, but that notwithstanding, like, if they give you that is akin to them paying you, right? Instead of giving you money, they're giving you a product for free. Let me ask you this: when they sent you the Nova, were they expecting you to do anything, or was it just like a gift?
Yeah, they said, we want you to do one video and we'll send you. They asked me, would you like one? And I made a video, and I said they sent me this in trade for doing a video, and I'm doing that. So I did that.
Yeah. So my opinion,
I didn't have to say I loved it. You know.
Yeah.
Well,
so
you
don't know.
You don't. I was just curious, like, if you had gave it a negative or like an average review, like, how would that have gone? They already knew you liked the previous one, I suppose.
Maybe they wouldn't send me the next one. I don't know.
Right,
I mean,
right.
if I had an issue, like, I think the Humming Guru is the best bang for your buck for that type of thing. The next thing up, and I know people that have the degrader for $3,300, and that's great. You can get 5 of these Humming Guru. Now, that may be a better cleaner, but my whole thing for 50 fucking years, I never cleaned a fucking record. And I had like a badge of honor saying that. But I found Jesus in ultrasonics, and it was a great improvement.
I'm sort of two minds. Oh, go ahead, Chris.
I was going to say, like, I see some channels, not even VC related, that have the paid promotion. I actually don't watch them because I'm like, oh, fuck, it's going to be a commercial.
That's exactly.
I mean, so happens. But like, I'm no fool. Like, when I watch somebody showing a record, like, and they say, it's just like a psychological thing for me when they say, like, I know Mazzy got that OJC. Like, I'm still gonna like watch the review, but it's different if it said like this is a paid promotion. I'd be like, oh, it's an infomercial. But also, like, I know Mazzy's channel. I know what I'm walking into when I go to his video, or if I go to somebody else's. Like, I kind of know the channel now. If it was a newer channel on anything, I'd be like, I don't really want to watch this. I can see why you don't hit it.
This is the thing, and I've mentioned this when I've talked about this on reviewers. And I grew up in the age of Cream and Crawdaddy and Rolling Stone, all in the local papers. And after a while, you get to know the taste of certain reviewers. Whether it's John Peel, radio in Britain, and all stuff. And you kind of like their taste, or at least you'll check something out because you might not like everything, but that you found they don't usually steer you wrong. And I think that's the same. And I'm not patting myself, but all of us here, if people watch Jason a lot, or you a lot, or Dom a lot, I know when Dom says a certain thing, or Alex, who I just saw in LA, that they're in a little quirky, twisted kind of thing. Like, I bought 5 or 4 fucking Glenn, what's his name, guitar player records.
Glenn Jones, yeah.
Yeah, Glenn Jones. You did a whole video, and Amanda and I both. We probably bought 10 records between the two of us because of your video, And I don't know if I ever said, hey, Dom sent me or whatever, seeking a thread. And so there is an influence here. And if Don had gotten those free or bought them, it doesn't matter because I trust his taste. Now, there's a lot of stuff he'll show that I don't give a shit about. Same with Metal Theologian, one of my favorite channels. I don't think I've ever bought anything he's wrecked because I don't like that music, but I love his presentation of that music, even though I hate
think YouTube, the idea is a way more focused audience. I mean, people who are sending out free records or labels or whoever, they realize like this is a captive audience. Like it's a smaller audience, but if someone shows a record and they say it in a certain way and talk about it in a certain way, like we're going to get like 30, 40, 50 sales out of this. Like I've seen it happen with some of the things that I've gotten into or championed. You know, people like Joe Carbon Records sent me a record and I really loved it. I absolutely unabashedly loved it. And he's like, oh yeah, I sold like a whole bunch the next day. And like that felt good for me in a sense, just because I helped spread the word on a very small way, a very underground record. Am I being paid is that paid promotion essentially? I mean, it would fall into the same category that you're talking about for Mazzy, I suppose. I don't know that I totally agree though. I mean, if I'm trying to earn a living as making reviews or making videos, I'd much rather be paid in cash or get a salary than get paid sent vinyl records and promos. Like, and what am I going to do with those? Like, what am I going to do with this record I don't even care about? Just bring it down and get $4 trade at my local record store? No, I mean, that's not quite the same as being paid directly, but you know, technically, I suppose that's true. You know, as Joe said, in kind payment.
I don't think the ethics have adopted the speed that the media has changed, right? Like, so none of us are really professional journalists or members of the media in a formal way. Like you're writing for Rolling Stone or something like that. So there's a little bit less transparency required, because if you really think about it, we're just amateurs that might be monetizing on a big tech platform.
Lester Bangs got
journalists.
Shit money. Lester Bangs got shit money. He would sell promos to Offset. That's why we finally got in 1977 or whatever those printed labels not for sale. Never said that before about 75 or 6. But so many people, radio people at the labels were selling their promos, making the extra money because they're getting paid shit money. You know, it's all glorious writing reviews for Crawdaddy, but you're getting paid shit. You get free concerts.
When I got laid off in the record biz, what do you think I did to survive for a while? I sold everything I got. I mean,
the Roots talk about, and Weezer talk about how they used to steal the promo CDs from the supply closet and sell them like their own record.
That was a thing.
So like,
oh yeah.
Because I've seen some people in the quote VC do videos where they're admitting that, you know, they got something and they're talking about it, like whether it's a different kind of record player or whatever. Does anybody hit the button? I don't know that I've ever noticed.
Pieces of vinyl always says it's a paid promotion, and like, you know, it's a paid promotion just by the production of it and the narrative usually.
Yeah, so, it's always pretty obvious to me.
Yeah. Is it any different than what, say, Mazzy's doing? I mean, I feel like it feels different. I mean, technically, if you write it on paper, it's the same, but it's different in, you know, when you think about how Mazzy's approaching it, perhaps, whereas where this Pieces of Vinyl guy is sort of with the high production, where it feels much more like you're being sold to, where Mazzy's really just talking about a record that he loves, and he happened to get it free. It doesn't feel quite the same to me.
You know,
I think also I see it more in like gear in the gear community, like high-end audio, speakers, turntables, all that stuff.
Keep it. They get to use it, and if they want to buy it, they can buy it at wholesale.
Yeah, I mean, it's just all those guys always say like, "Hey, they sent it to me. It's a paid promotion," or I don't know.
Like Michael, Poetry on Plastic, who does classical reviews, and he does reviews for Absolute Sound or for Frem or whatever, Tracking Angle, and those guys don't get to keep that stuff. I remember he did a review on the amp that I ended up I bought an amp partially because he reviewed this Hagel amp, and he loved it so much he bought it. I mean, he gets it for cost, whatever, like 40% off or whatever. But you get those and you keep them for 1 to 3 or 4 months until they say, "Hey, send the shit back. Here's our shipping label." They don't get to keep the high end gear mostly. Even Fremer, you know, I mean, he's bought shit, but he gets it, you know, half price or less in some cases.
I think
Is
it becomes a
it the
problem.
worst thing in the world? Not exactly. You know, we all have ways that we want to, you know, get around the rules. I mean,
Yeah,
we
I mean,
know how YouTube feels about copyrighted
I
material.
don't mean,
You know.
I don't mean to be naive and something, but I just don't. I see a difference of it. And I mean, yeah, I do monetize my channel. I make some money. I'm retired now, and you know, I mean, people say, "Oh, you got a nice house. You have all those records." And I'm fucking working. I'm 71 years old, but my income is Social Security and a few other little things that I consult on, and YouTube now. It's not. I don't get rich, but it pays for the records I buy. And so I like that. But like this last 3 days, I just did videos at the record show where I stick on music. I did a bell, you know, when I put music in, because I like having music in those videos, I don't get a dime. The rights holders, as it should be, they get the music on. I mean, they get the money that those commercials take. And I could have put fake, you know, that bullshit music that you can get free. I hate that shit. I'm not going to use it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just seems really weird to me, like this whole thing. I will say, you know, and I mentioned this before, like when it came to Espo, like Espo was way over the top about like how much he loves certain jazz records, and but eventually it clicked with me. Like, of course, he's got a story. He's trying to sell records, right? Like he's not gonna go up and say like this record shit. But he does sometimes do that, right? I've seen videos where he's talked bad about records, even records that he's selling. He said like, "This sounds like shit. I don't recommend buying it, but if you want to buy it, it's there on the shop if you want to." And so this whole thing about the shill thing, I agree. The people in the chat that have said we should stop calling people grifters and shills, I generally agree with that. I don't really see evidence that anything is nefarious or anything. But I'm still kind of wondering about this whole button business. Like, what's the big deal? No, not against you. Just like I'm wondering.
I don't take it personally.
Yeah. I'm just curious, not for you, just for in general. Like if I agree with what Joel said, Mazzy, I don't know if you know the better looking Joel, but he's in chat today. He where he said if YouTube had a problem with it, YouTube would do something about it, and I generally agree with that. Like,
well, you know, you say that. Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
In the print world, and I'm going to show my generation talking about Rolling Stone, but Rolling Stone, Pitchfork, any print magazine, underground stuff or not. Have you ever seen Grill Marcus or any fucking person say, "Oh, by the way, I got this record free"? Never. Reviewers don't, or they got free tickets to the Bruce Springsteen concert or to the Throbbing Gristle show, whatever it is, they get free.
Because those are not the terms that they have agreed to.
Well, I didn't agree to the terms. That's why I don't create the button.
You didn't read the terms of service. Nobody does on YouTube. But yes, you did agree to it by clicking, you know, by having an account on here and using the platform.
I interpret it
de facto.
You look at now how people are interpreting laws in their own way of interpreting it. I have my way to interpret the laws. It's not a big deal. I'm always upfront about when I got a review copy. And the thing is, like, I know Jason would tease me a lot because of the Rhino, you know, the Rhino bump or whatever it is. Out of all those records, half of them I bought. I don't get every Rhino hi-fi free. I gotten probably 7 or 8 free out of 25 or whatever, you know. So and I never know, and I only once did I get them in advance.
To that point, Mazzy, I want to ask you this question. So on one of these Rhino videos that I watched, you showed a Ministry album. Do you actually do you know Ministry? Because you called them avant-garde metal, and it made me laugh.
I never showed a Ministry album.
You did. Oh, I don't know if you showed it, but you definitely talked about it, and you called them avant. You called them avant-garde metal, and I just want to say, just for
I did mention
that made me laugh. That made me. I was cracking up.
Joel will not forget that one.
I will never forget it.
You know, I trip over my lips. I said something about just the other day and I challenged the person back, and I forgot what the comment was. I forgot now. Yeah.
It's okay. I laughed. And in fact, what it did was.
Are you the one that commented on that? I think someone did. Is that you?
Oh, I probably did.
Yeah.
I looked up avant-garde metal, and there is a genre of metal called avant-garde metal.
Oh, of course there
and
is.
Which I was not aware of, and even some bands that I like are part of that, which I was not aware of. So I appreciate it, and I think it's good to have some humor. It's like, it's not a bad thing.
Well, you're going to get that from me, definitely.
Well, I feel like we haven't really, like, hopefully we can all get over this shit and people can stop calling people shills.
People.
Like it's mostly coming from chat. Like I don't get the feeling looking at chat that that we've come to a resolution on this whole like having the button or not business. And I'm not even sure if Nate is.
I think what Johnny Fever said, it sort of resonated with me as far as shill definitely is like a more negative connotation in terms of you're specifically leading people to try to buy in a somewhat disingenuous way.
And Mazzy, you don't feel like you're doing this in a disingenuous way when you're showing these records?
I don't think so at all. My musical tastes tend to probably be, one part of it is what you guys would consider more conservative than other. I have wider tastes, other things I show. I like, great hooks and great melodies. And, a lot of those bands that I grew up with, I love that stuff. I like the Randy Newman. I like good songwriter, Ray Davis. I like all these great songwriters, songcraft, and the sound of those things. Someone said Jellyfish. I love Jellyfish. I like 10cc. I like that kind of stuff. And so, no, if like, I know I did get a copy of that Dre box or that Dre, One Step. And of course, people's heads are exploding. Mazzy showing a Dre album.
That was great.
I know, 1991 or 2, whenever that came out, I had that CD. I was playing that CD in my car. Now, I'm not a big hip hop fan or a big rap fan. And, but that got me into Snoop Dogg, I remember at the time. I mean, and so I like that record. I know that record, but I'm not one that would show like a big rap presence. I was 35, 36 when that came out. So I wasn't a kid, but I wasn't actually old man Mazzy quite yet, and so I like that record. I didn't expect them to send me one. I didn't ask for it. It came in. And so of course I'm going to review it, and it sounded fucking great. And I compared it to the CD, and so sometimes it happens. So
cool.
I'm not going to review
you guys like Marmaduke?
Should I make you
make them big?
Do you want to show that again?
Sure. Yeah. You guys want something funny?
Let's make you big.
Yeah, make them big.
Forget it. I'm not calling him Your Highness.
That's good. Classy.
So little joke there for the king
I'm gonna
of the
have to
VC.
figure out. So Mazzy, one last question for me. Who should be next on my list to get Jason to make up with?
Well, the big one will never happen. So
who's the big one?
We'll leave it at that. I don't think it's your responsibility.
It's not, but it's just something I enjoy. It's
and
like
you
a
didn't
hobby
do
of
that
mine.
here. I mean, I still have issues with Jason of certain things, But
what's your biggest issue with Jason?
Well, that was it. That it said something different online here, and maybe it'll change.
I know. I mean, like as I said, like I'm not jealous of Mazzy. Mazzy can do whatever he wants. If he wants to shill the records or talk about them,
Well, you just said we're not calling people shills, Jason.
Let me ask you this, Jason: if any of these labels started, like you have a channel, if any started sending you, 10 records a month, and would you play them on your show? Would you talk about them? What would you, or just ignore that?
Yeah, but it would be a different slant, right? I wouldn't be.
Of course it would. I don't do what you do.
Yeah, right. I mean, to me, it's mostly about sound. Like, I want to make it very clear here, like to the panel and to the chat. Mazzy loves music. He's into the music, right? He's not necessarily into the sound or the pressing, right? I'm
not
into the
pressing,
sound.
but I am into the sound, but the music first.
And I'm here to like, talk about the sound and pressing. And if I'm going to talk shit about the sound, I'm going to have proof of it. Okay. That's the difference. Okay.
Yeah. And I don't do that. I don't play records. Now, will you push the button then?
Yeah, of course. I mean, if I got it for, as a promotion, of course, because
But you would accept, you wouldn't say, please don't send me these records.
Well, no, if they send it to me, but I would hit the button. I would explain in the video that I did disclose it, right? And why would I do that? Because like people, like I respect a channel like Parlogram Auctions, right? I know what he's doing, right? He's not hiding the fact that he's trying to, not sell the record. He is trying to sell a record, a box set. He's not hiding this, Joel, and you know what I'm saying? Like he's clear. And I would say the clear thing if I was going that path, right? But I'm not going to go on that path. Maybe it has something to do with my misguided, like, punk ethos of not selling out or some shit, but I'll disclose it. I'm not afraid. Like for a fact, like I am not monetized, right? Like I'm not. Like I'm only
have to
doing
have more than 300 subscribers to monetize.
Oh,
wow. There you go.
Damn.
I'm kidding.
Damn.
I may not have as many subscribers as Mazzy or as Influence, but I mean, that's not my point. Like, I'm not here to get attention. I'm not here to get like subs and views, like blah, blah, like everyone else, in the VC who've been misguided about that. Like, I'm here to share information to you. I'm not here to be a blowhard like other people like Esposito and so on, I'm not,
Well, see,
I don't have time for that. I don't have.
But to me, okay, I'm going to call you on that shit.
Good.
Because,
This is it.
No, because do what you think. Why do you have to even say that? Because they do different things. What's great about the VC for me is everyone does something a little different. What Chance does, I like his shtick on Thursdays, and I like what Dom does. And to me, what Dom and Metal Theologian and a lot of these kind of channels do, they're talking about stuff that I don't know the fuck about. And to me, it's more, and they're intelligent about it. It's more interesting. I'll put on what is it, Thursday, Friday afternoon, whenever Stunty sometimes, if I'm around, I'll listen to him. And 90% of the stuff he plays, I've never heard, but I just,
But do you understand why they're doing it, Mazzy? They're doing it because they love the music and they have a passion for it.
Exactly.
And they're not having a business behind it. Right?
No, but I understand that. But you realize 90% of the videos I do aren't about new records and reissues and this. I like all the whole things, not the whack-a-moles necessarily, but It Seems Stupid. Those are 5 records from my collection that I've had for 10 to 60 years. And every time I do that, I notice, especially the rare ones, I look on Discogs, and almost every time I do one and I have a passion for that music, 10 or 20 copies sell. Used records that aren't even very cheap, that are 15 or 25 bucks or something, because people hear me talk about it, and hopefully my passion comes through why I talk about those records. I don't get a dime for those. Nobody, some used guy who's selling it gets money from that. So, for you to kind of, pull these things out, that whether it's, anybody else, we all do different things, and we should appreciate, I hate to say that diversity, that's so cliche, but there is that, and it's great.
I agree. Let's just be nice to each other. Like shit.
Well, I mean, that's what the whole thing is, like I'm not calling Mazzy out in any of this, clearly
Hold on,
not.
but you just called Espo out.
Well, because he is a business,
And you've called, and PB Thal, you called his out. Like
No, he was never called. He's getting confused, He's making accusatory statements.
Next week you need to bring PB Thal on here to do the.
I'd rather not, to be honest with you,
You haven't gotten there yet.
Hold up. Let me just clear the thing, because I know PB Thal and the other guy are watching, nervously, getting ready to like attack me on tomorrow's stream, because they need to sell VC drama, right? No one was called that word, He's just making things up because he's very insecure, That's on him, not me. I don't care, If you can't get over it, well, that's why I asked you what your age is. And if you can't handle it, wow, then you don't belong on social media, That's it. As Mazzy said, you need to get a thick skin. And if you got to criticize me on another talk show, call me names, call me like I'm not intimidating enough. Please, this is not high school, And
I almost
Like-
didn't recognize you without that turquoise Led Zeppelin.
I mean, it's just like I'm just like whatever. Like there will always be personality conflicts because it's social media. Like what you're gonna see here is what you're gonna get. Like I'm not trying to do an act like other people. You know, I've never said I was a record expert. You know,
The thing about YouTube, and maybe
well, it's like the illusion of YouTube, right?
Well,
That's the thing.
Okay, you can whatever you call it, the illusion of YouTube. And I get over the top, snarky, and a little, some people say elitist because I have a thing about when you show a record, take it out of the sleeve because it's a visual medium. When you're going like this, you're saying, "I just bought this record." I just bought this record, and people can't even see it. It's a visual medium. Use the visuals, and maybe because I've worked with photographers for 40 years, to me, that's the important part of it, and communicating through this, and I'll be honest with you. I like to show records, that is, but I like using my personality, and people get me or they don't. If they don't like me, I'm fine with that.
Wait, hold on, Mazzy. Hold on. Did you just say you like to shill a record?
No,
You can't call yourself a shill
I didn't
if
say
you
shill.
asking people.
No,
You
I
did.
meant
I believe show. Yeah, I heard show.
Oh,
I
you
meant
show.
show.
Okay.
I apologize. I just got off a flight. I flew from LA, and whenever I show a record, and to me, this is about communicating, and the reason that people respond to some of our things and why I have, I get a lot of viewers is because apparently some people respond to that. And if they're hate watching, so be it. But my guess is there aren't that many people really hate watching. It's a small percentage. And so, it accidentally worked for me. And so I'm enjoying it. I mean, again, I don't have full-time jobs like you guys anymore.
Well, yeah, you have more time to do this.
Yeah, exactly. And so I get an idea or a new release comes out. I like doing the upcoming releases, like, announcing a fucking 12 CD box of Topographic Ocean. Give me a fucking break. But it was a great fun bit to do because I always like to diss that record, the record that killed prog music in the 70s,
Well, yeah, what I would say is, it'd be nice for everybody to get along, kumbaya. That's all sounds great.
Sure.
Joel, but like I've learned over the years as I'm getting a little older now, sometimes you just can't sometimes it's just not going to be compatibility or people don't reconcile. Like I've lost a few friends where it's like I tried to make it, you try to fix it, and then you realize, you know what? They don't want to hang out. It's fine. We're just going to go our separate ways. Yeah. But we can be respectful to each other. Like we don't have to, I don't have to go on a slagging sort of mission on people that I used to be friends with or anything. But that person's doing their thing. I'm doing mine.
Let me ask you this.
What is that?
Well, Monster Energy drink, that Monster Energy, they had a booth, so they have free samples of the stuff, but they also had a spin art thing.
It looks sick.
Yeah.
Like
you pick 3 colors. Of course, I ended up picking, and it didn't show here, orange, purple, and black. That's what I picked. And I got a free spin art record. So if I show this, do I have to push the button because I got it free? You doesn't play anything. There's nothing to play.
If you're promoting it, you should push the button.
Well, I shot some video of the guy making it, and on the back of the video is the whole the mural of Monster Energy drink. I've never tasted one in my life personally, but so would I be shilling this company by showing this?
No, come on, Mazzy.
Don't be willfully obtuse.
You know what you did, Mazzy.
You know what you did.
I don't know. That thing looked horrible.
Say that, Wolf. Will you say? You know what you did, Matt.
Here's the thing, Dom. That's
a paid Dom. Promotion.
When I start talking about people talking shit, it's usually because I resemble some of the things they're saying. Like they're talking shit about, like what I've always said. Like if you're going to talk shit about Espo, talking about records that he likes and trying to sell them, but yet you want me to talk about records that I like that I'm selling. Like why is Espo a shill but I'm not? You know what I mean? When we're both trying to do the same thing, which is sell records. You know,
as long as you're not,
it's because you like me and you don't like Espo. so
I like Espo.
I mean, as long as Joel, stop being a newbie. As long as Espo is not holding back those like special like Funkadelic audiophile records, holding back 50 yet selling 300, so then he can sell for a bigger price later. Joel,
But listen, if Espo was doing that, he's
about
not the
ethically
record
doing
store
it.
owner doing it. for one. You've shopped at stores that have admitted to me doing that, but what's the big deal? Like, who is he hurting if he was doing that?
Why
Holding
be
back.
upset what anyone else is selling? Like, who cares?
It's true.
Tom sells records. I sell. Who cares?
Well, it's just I don't. So yeah, like.
And wouldn't you rather buy records from people you know? I mean, that's how I look at it.
Also,
I mean,
Jason,
that still hasn't told me. I mean, how do I say this? Like, I still like Espo. I still like talking with him. Maybe I just don't agree with his business practices or his pricing. And that's fine. Nothing wrong with that. I just don't have to buy from him.
Wait, hold on. This is the first I'm hearing you saying you don't like his prices. We've had multiple let's not get into it right now, but we've talked about where the prices come from, and you've never made any comment.
We can do that off.
What's wrong with his prices? I mean, you're talking about auction prices or store prices?
Well, I think it's just the auction stuff, Like this
auction are what people pay. It's not about him or me or
correct. I mean, but that's like the whole thing, like using your influence, in that way, And I don't have anything wrong with it. Again, that was up to the, the buyer, to do the research, So
here's the thing, Chance, real quick. I'm gonna make a video about this after Records for Day. I've learned some things the first year doing it. I'm gonna make a video about it.
It's gonna be Concert Buddy. It's gonna be how Joel was on RSD and how he became too many records and got kicked out of RSD. That's the video.
One and done.
That's right.
So here's the thing in general about when you're a buyer and you're complaining about like what people pay and whatnot auctions or what stores do or what private sellers do or what they do at conventions, until you're on the other side and you're selling, not just casually, but when you're doing it as a business, trying to earn a living at it, it opens up your mind and you start to understand different perspectives. It's really hard to understand why. Like, to me, I used to, I looked at Espo's whatnot auctions and I was like, holy shit, someone paying that crazy amount for that record. That's insane. But when you think about the effort that I know people are going to attack me and argue with me. I'm not interested in the argument. I'm just going to tell you my perspective. The effort that Espo puts in to put those auctions on, to come up with a theme and put them all together, not to mention how much he pays to acquire all that stuff to begin with and then sell it. The fact, I know, he needs to make some sort of profit. Otherwise, there's no intention, there's no reason for him to do it. Right? So I see it from his point of view. And so when I get it. If you're from the buyer's standpoint, you just want, give me cheap stuff. I want everything for free. Why can't we go back to records costing $5? It's like, get over that bullshit. That shit is never going to happen again. We're here today. I know what Espo paid to get those records. He's selling them. People are willingly giving him the money. There's literally nothing wrong with what he's doing. Just because you wouldn't pay that for that record doesn't mean you need to it's Espo's fault or shit on it.
No, that's what I'm saying. It's a buyer thing. I don't watch any Esposito whatnots,
Yeah.
When you buy a $200 record or $1,000, Chris or Kimbo buys a multi-$1,000 or $100 psych record, I would never pay that in a fucking lifetime. But I don't care that they do, and they love it and they have the money to do it. All the power to them. I think it kind of seems crazy to me, but whatever. They're having fun.
Well, those two go in hand. I mean, if you do want that record, then you're going to be like, God damn, this guy paying $1,000 for this thing. Pricing me right out of the market.
I mean, it's like Concert Bunny travel around the fucking country seeing Pearl Jam. What the fuck is that about?
Wait, what are you saying about Pearl Jam?
He travels around the country to see Pearl Jam, him and Kimbo.
Sorry, Joel was going down a Marmaduke rabbit hole. He missed.
Pearl Jam is awesome.
But I'm, pick any band, right? I actually registered, Paul McCartney's playing 2 shows at a 1,200 seat theater in LA Friday and Saturday. And of course I was first told they would pick it this morning for the tickets to see if you can buy them for $100 or whatever. Of course they they waited until tomorrow. I would have stayed in LA otherwise if I got one. But I'm probably not going to get one anyway, and I'm certainly not going to fly back to LA for a show at this point if I was to be chosen. But I'm just kind of joking about Pearl Jam.
Hey, quick shout out. If you have anybody in Canada or wants to go to Canada, Dallas Green of City and Color is going to do like 4 shows, just him solo, only doing them in Canada. It's going to be fucking amazing. You should go.
Canada's pretty big. We're in Canada.
Let me pull up the dates. Hold on.
You got a map?
I'm going to bring up the map.
Mazzy, you don't know the map joke, but Joel is our official map navigator for all VC events and music-related events.
In what
Google
way?
Maps. He just brings up Google Maps deep dive on geography.
Deep dive. Joel shares his screen. He gets out the pointer.
Are you going to show the fronts of all our houses now or something?
Absolutely. So he's going to be playing at Edmonton, Calgary, Victoria, and Vancouver. But it's going to be just him, not the full band. And because he said he wants to take it back to how it all began. And yes, he used to be in Alex on Fire. Yes, Grasshopper.
Yes.
Hopper. If you have never seen City and Color, you have like Mazzy, you would probably like them.
How do you know?
City and Color.
They're good. You like good music and City.
How do you know? I guess you watch a couple of my videos.
Yeah, I've seen videos.
I need that verification just to make sure.
Oh, 40,000 isn't enough. You need one more, Mazzy, for Christ's sake. Come on.
I really did have hope that because I think when somebody how to word this, I feel like when people shut themselves off from people because of whatever, like I think it hurts them. Like I think it hurts Jason for him to have these like conflicts with people in the VC. Right, because I know he likes going to shows, he likes going to conventions, and he wants to, see people and hang out and stuff like that. I don't think it makes any difference to you.
But that's your perspective. I mean, Jason's got his own feelings on that. If he wants to attempt to, look, I like Jason. I've always liked Mazzy. I like Rob. I've had great dealings with Rob, and I don't know PB Thal too well, but he seems fine. Like I would love for everybody to get along harmoniously as well, but it's just that's not up to me. So all I can do is sort of be myself and just try to foster those things if possible, but it's up to Jason if he wants to do that. But
I don't think there's anybody that I wouldn't meet with or hang out with that I maybe had a little I'd want to meet him first people and judge, except for Dave the pickup artist. I would never be in a fucking state. Everyone else I'm fine.
Are you out there, Dave? Are you in the chat?
Oh, he's everywhere, but
you wouldn't be in an elevator with him.
God damn.
He's an interesting sort. Yes.
Yeah, it is probably just me. I should just.
I mean, I agree with you at some point. I would love for there not be friction in life. We have so much friction everywhere we go. Like this feels like a place where everyone can exist, harmoniously. But that's just not the way life is.
Right. I mean, I make jokes, but that's really, where it ends with me. You know what I mean? I try to keep it good natured. And it's like, I got enough problems in my life already. I'm not going out of my way to look for another one.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think if we all went to a Fish show, I think that would bring all of us together.
Yeah.
No.
Well done, Chris. You did it.
There is a thing, and I'm not a religious person, but there is a little bit of a thing about like one of the best nights, and I think Dom will probably agree with me, was that night at Billy's, right?
Jason was there.
Yeah, Jason was. I mean, but he's not here right now. I mean, but wasn't that there's something about that? That was like a cosmic, kumbaya-esque experience. It was just fun. It was loose. It was planned. I didn't expect it to be like that for whatever reason.
It was beautiful. It was great. But you sort of realized later, even before he passed away, even you just after it happened, you're like, wow, that was really quite perfect.
It was like the spirit and everything. We Saturday night, Lance at Permanent Records, I think Chris Vinyl Pipe arranged it, and there was about a dozen of us went out. I didn't realize the front building was a bar. I walked through it after. God, that'd be a great place for an LA meetup after. I mean, it's like an old red kind of bar you'd see in a dive movie, but there's an outdoor patio between that and the store. And I wish there was more people. I wish had more buzz, but that would be obviously an LA version of that. I don't know if it would be as Kumbaya-esque or whatever, but that was kind of nice, just singing around, drinking beers, and
yeah, super good.
Yeah,
couldn't have been better in terms of there being music, DJing, and drinks. Everyone's shopping, talking to people, handing people records. It was great.
Yeah, like whatever Dom handed me, I bought. With the records or whatever.
Oh,
Glenn dropped.
Did you get a lot of sleepy
Branca, yeah.
Heathcliff couldn't even support his own animated program. He could only hold up half an episode.
Why do I feel was your father the unknown comic? Nobody knows the unknown comic?
Nobody knows.
I don't remember that.
There was this comic in the 70s, I guess, in the early 80s, who he always had a bag. You did one-liner shtick, and he had a bag over his head. Now, for years, he was huge.
Could be a good direction for your channel.
Someone's going to steal that right now. Start a channel. Someone's taking that.
Remember Mr. Fingers?
Whoa, easy there. This is
on my stream. Remember the guy that did records? He had an accent. I think it was Finnish, but he would always have his fingers showing the records and stuff. You never saw his face.
I don't remember that guy. No.
Oh, when I started, probably 2017, 18.
Don't know Mr. Fingers. Did he do Daft Hands?
No.
That was big for a minute.
We're not going to argue.
Vancouver.
No.
Oh, Pat. I met you in Vancouver.
Once again, we're going to have another 2 weeks in a row, VCSE. We could only get to the first topic.
That's okay.
What's the second topic?
It was supposed to be about live music.
This is a 4-hour show, Mazzy. You didn't know?
Right.
Mazzy, do you go to a lot of shows?
I like to. I don't go to as many. I mean, I went last weekend to see The Third Mind. That's with Dave Alvin and Jesse Sykes. And they do kind of a updated, versions of like East West by Paul Bitter Blues Band and Morning Dew, The Dead, long, jammy blues, psychedelic rock. And they're great. And Dave Allen, from the Blasters, great guitar player. And Victor Krummenacher, who was in Kemper Van Beethoven on bass, and really tight, good band in a small club at the Tractor Tavern here. So I used to go every week or every other week to clubs. I don't do the big, every big, quote, legacy act that I want to see, I've seen ever. So I'd never need to see him again unless someone gives me a ticket and I have to push the button, whatever.
Yeah.
But, I love going to see. And Seattle's a good city to see live music in. So yeah.
Oh yeah, you're in Seattle.
Yeah.
What's your favorite record store in Seattle, and why isn't it Singles Going Steady?
I haven't been there in a while. That's the punk metal store.
Hell yeah.
I don't get down there because it's right by Pike's Market there, and just going down there's I always forget about it. Easy Street's probably the easy answer because for new releases they don't just get 1 or 2 fucking copies. They get like 10, 15 copies, but they get good new stuff. Some people who buy a lot think they're probably 20 to 25% higher. They got this big Smiths collection, and I went in with the camera with Kimbo and did a live stream with Arnaldo to see, and he thought everything was about 25% too high. But they have a bar, they have a cafe for lunch and breakfast. It's the most Seattle-based. It's a kind of like a good neighborhood place. But we got a lot of good stores. But that's probably the one go-to store.
I almost moved to Seattle, and when I did, I was going to move to West Seattle. 1, because I liked West Seattle, but 2, because Easy Street was right there.
Yeah.
But I went there for a month, and I literally went to every record store, everyone.
How long ago?
This was like maybe 10 years ago.
Yeah, there's a changeover. I'd say 25% of them have changed, closed, or new ones opened.
Yeah. My favorite one, there was one that was kind of down some stairs. I'll know the name if someone says it. But you had to kind of go down some stairs into it. I'd have to look it up.
It
was
was
also
the one that's like a flea market type of thing. Is no?
Did you go on
No.
the Seattle Underground tour by mistake?
no. I had pictures of
I
it.
did go on that. I went on that when I was there.
It's wild, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
What downstairs?
Well, Singles Going Steady is still my favorite. I'll look it up. I'm not going to do it right now, but it's on my social. I took a picture of it a long time ago. I also like Holy Cow.
It's the one in Pike's Market. It's down the stairs.
I've been there. Yeah, you go down a little bit of set of stairs to get to that, don't you?
Yeah, it's called. Oh God, what's it called?
Well, there's Holy Cow.
That's the Holy Cow. That's
not the one I'm thinking of, though.
Oh, that's
I do
down
like
the
Holy
stairs,
Cow.
though.
Yeah. I also my rep at Alliance used to work at Sonic Boom. I like Sonic Boom.
Yeah, Sonic Boom's
So
not great for used stuff.
Yeah,
really.
I can't remember where I went to. They're probably not around anymore.
Daybreak is probably one of the better ones.
Oh
too.
yeah, Daybreak is great. I found a early Beat Happening 7-inch there. They're kind of smaller, and I haven't been there since I moved to the new location.
We moved across the street to a larger one. But RJ used to work for 10 years or 15 years down the street. Well, 2 miles down the street at Jive Time.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Jive. Oh, maybe it was Jive Time.
Yes. Yeah.
Anyway, cool, man.
Anyway, so what was that second topic then?
We were going to talk about live music because South by Southwest have you ever been to South by Southwest, Mazzy?
Yes, but not in many years. And my friends actually live in, what is it, next week? The one in Knoxville.
Yeah, Big Ears.
That's the
Big
one
Ears.
that he loves now. My friend Jazz Shit Brooks, because it's more adventurous. There's jazz and folk and avant-garde and edge and Kronos Quartet type. I mean, a mix.
Yeah, Dirty Three's playing this year. My friend who's in the band with me, Trey, he's from Knoxville. He goes every year. He never misses it.
I'm glad I
Have you
didn't buy
been,
a
Dom?
ticket though because Adrian Sherwood had to cancel.
It's expensive though, I'll tell you, because you need to buy the premium pass for it to be worth it. Because you have to wait in line. It's like the CMJ Festival. If anyone ever went to the CMJ Festival, you get a badge for everything, but you got to show up and get into the thing. There's capacity issues. So what they do is that they sell you a premium ticket that gives you sort of priority to get into all these clubs, and that's a step above. For it's like $800-900 for the weekend.
Right, and you got to book your hotel almost a year in advance if you really want it.
Yeah, he's got family there, so I have a place to stay there if I go, but it's not happening this year. It's this weekend. Yeah,
it's hard wanting to go see a festival being so close to New York. Everybody comes here, so it's not like it's like I see the appeal of it. Like I've been to Bonnaroo before and a couple of others. It's just not for me.
That ties me into the topic. Can I talk about a record?
Yeah. Go ahead.
I went for the first time 2 years ago to the Solid Sound Festival in Western Mass, the Wilco Festival as it's known.
Oh yeah, nice.
2024. I'm going again this year in June because it's every 2 years, and I discovered this band, which Wilco plays a big set every night. Essentially, on Friday night is their deep cut set, so it's like they play all the songs they never play, the weird covers. It's great. After they were done, we're like, well, let's see what else is going on. It was like 11:30, and this band played Horse Lords.
Oh yeah,
this band's fucking killer. And I knew them by name. They're from Baltimore. I'd always known who they were, but for whatever reason, I never listened to them. And my wife and I both were like, this band's easily the best band here. They were so good. Like it hit everything that I essentially like about music. Sort of great, sort of liquid style, like rhythmic, sort of pulsing, a West African guitar sound, which is insane. Like a real buzzing, sort of like general sort of vibe that they have going on, like really repetitive, like sort of like hypnotic bass lines. Exceptionally good saxophone. So there's like a no wave kind of thing happening, but much more groovy. A little like a James Chance, but better, if you ask me. This band's great, and they have a new record coming out in a couple of months, actually, which I've already pre-ordered. So I recommend. Well, they're all great, but this one's great because it's a live record, and so this is the first one I got. They were there selling their record the next day, and I talked with them for a bit, and exceptionally good. So I would have never discovered this band if I didn't Probably not. I mean, I knew the name, but I just never listened to him. So if not for that festival, live music, would have missed it.
Nice.
Very cool.
Mm-hmm.
Did you showed that recently in your show, didn't you? I think
I don't know about recently, but I probably did.
I
at
saw
some
someone
point.
show that cover because it reminded me kind of 80s-ish, but I thought it
Yeah.
must be,
Well, all their covers are kind of striking in some way, I'd say. If I can get to them. No. Anyway, one is like super glossy, and they're pretty arty looking, essentially.
I have one I can show.
All right.
This right here is Death Valley Girls. I wanted to show their Street Venom album. But Death Valley Girls I first saw during South by Southwest back when they first started. There was the front woman is named Bonnie, and they had a kind of a backup singer named Jesse Jones, and they were just amazing live, right? Like you saw them, it's like straight up rock and roll, like kind of a garage rocky. Think of it like some kind of mix between like a Sleater Kinney and a Joan Jett, and they were amazing. So and at the time they only had a CD. They were making like hand printing CDs. Like, they were like CDRs, but they were hand printing artwork. It wasn't until later that they started getting vinyl, but then Suicide Squeeze out of Seattle signed them and started releasing their albums, and they're great. Unfortunately, Jesse left the band, and they've changed members a few times now. But I was talking to Bonnie, and I was telling her that like it really sucks that Jesse left the band. She left the band and she released a solo album thinking like she would be more successful, and it was a huge flop. And then she kind of disappeared. I have no idea what she's doing. But Jesse and the band was like fucking perfect. But anyway, if you haven't heard Death Valley Girls, it's definitely a band that if I just heard the album, I probably would have liked it. But I'm glad I saw them live first. Always puts on a good live show. Death Valley Girls.
I got one.
Girls rule.
I don't go to like as many like shows for Discovery as I used to. But right before the COVID thing happened, I went to go see. So my friends always want to go to a show, but like no one wants to go see what I want to see. So they picked. I just go along with them at this point. But JJ Gray, I forgot the band. Anyway, so he was playing at this. Yes, that's who it is. I really wanted to go because Soul Live was opening, and they played like a random show. They don't really tour anymore. But the opening act, we got there early. It was like a bar inside the venue, and it was kind of like this groovy 70s kind of soul funk thing going on. And they busted out into this cover of Strawberry Letter 23, and I like ran out of the bar and like went into the venue, and it wound up being this guy Neil Francis, which I know I've talked about with some of you guys before. I found him this way. I mean, I literally went to the merch table and bought this record and held it for the whole show like a dork. But I wouldn't have. I mean, he's blown up quite a bit now. I think he's not like an A-list. He's still pretty indie, but yeah, I would have never found him and probably never given him a shot if I hadn't seen him live. So that's going back several years. I don't go to a lot of shows anymore with that kind of crowd. So it was pretty cool to find that.
Nice.
I don't know if he's on Coal Mine. I think he was on Coal Mine. Yeah, his first one was on Coal Mine. I think he's on ATO now. ATO is Dave Matthews' label, I think. Yeah, he's on ATO now. So his first one's on Coal Mine. The last three have been on ATO.
What have we here? We're looking at pizza again?
All right, I did not mean to share this. It just automatically shared. But I will show you since I shared it. This was the store I was talking about called Neptune Music Company.
Oh,
I know.
Around.
That's I know. I didn't think of that. That's below the Neptune Theater, the music venue, and that's a good venue. I think that's where Kim Gordon's playing, and the last 3 times I've seen Bill Callahan plays there, and I've seen a bunch. It's a good venue. It's a theater, but you stand up downstairs, and Downstairs, there's a weird record store. I always forget about it. It's not on my normal rotation because they don't seem to. Every time I've been there, it seems to be the same records that have been there for 40 years. but
Oh, really?
but I don't. But maybe because I don't go enough, so I don't know. Daybreak is great. That's the new Daybreak.
Yeah, this was my picture. Wait, this is the new one? Because this was
No, that's
long
the old
time
one.
ago.
It's across the street from. Yeah, it's across the
Yeah,
street.
yeah. Cool.
Yeah, they built a condo right next to that. That building is still there, but yeah, the new one's a little bigger, not much, but a little bigger.
Yeah.
Very cool.
He's always buying collections. Now, you guys, this is probably old news to you guys. I was staying at this friend's house. And he played this record that I loved. It came out 2 years ago or so. I just missed this band completely. There's something about it, and let me find it here because I took a picture of it. To otherwise I'll forget and not buy it. I want to get it. Fuck. Oh, here it is. I'm sure it's an obvious thing though, so don't like say, "Oh man, Mazzy, you should know about this band." Wand, Vertigo.
Oh, Juan, that's amazing fucking album. Are you kidding me?
He played this. He got a nice setup. I fucking love this.
Yeah.
And this is like their 4th or 5th record or 6th record. I'd never heard of them, or maybe I heard
Drag City. Aren't they on Drag City?
Yeah. I love that.
played-
I haven't heard that one.
It's the last one, 2024. It's excellent. So I'm going to order it tomorrow or something, maybe.
It's
Anyway.
kind of funny.
Easy Street probably has that sitting there, don't they?
They probably do. I'll go check. I got to go over there the next couple of days, so I'll check that out first. But that's the thing. I mean, on our channel, sometimes people say, "Oh, Maz, you got to check this out." But for some reason, there's so much stuff people are throwing at you, unless you like connect in a certain way, whether on your own or plays it, And that he played like 5 records for me, new things, and that was one. Yeah, it's what.
Hey, just because I want to be a shill too.
There we go.
There we go.
This
Just,
is funny.
Hold up, Jill. Just claim it, own it.
I'm owning it.
There we go.
I do have Juan Vertigo in stock, as well as the other. I also recommend this album, Golem, if you want to check it out. But Wanda is obviously really great.
Where's your store?
And Mazzy, the promo code is fuck Mazzy. You get 10% off. So.
No, it's not.
Okay, I'm gonna admit this. There is one store that gave me my own promo code if I order from them. So I do have a promo code. I get like a 15% or whatever, 10%.
There it is.
Yeah,
The
Wand
code-
is like kind of psychedelic. I do
All right.
highly recommend
Here's
it.
the code, shill ATX. There we go. That's the code.
Okay, that's funny. That's funny.
Shill with a C.
That's right.
Old man Mazzy, that's funny. Okay.
I am not showing a record this week, but I do have some breaking news. It's about the Social Club Mars Madness bracket pool update.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, we still got, I would say, 6 people that are still in it. Could be anybody's. Could go any way. But let's see. We'll start at the bottom. Tied for 5th. We got Immerdoom and the Breakfast King of Loyola. All right, in 4th place, Joel, our very own. In 3rd place, it's me. 2nd place, Groove Seeker. And currently in the lead after 4 days of Mars Madness, Danny Walnuts.
Let's be honest.
That is the update.
Only the top 3 have a chance of still winning. My bracket's too screwed up.
If Purdue wins,
Yeah.
that's going to help you greatly, Joel.
How did you pick Iowa State to win?
They're number 2 seed. And besides,
Yeah,
have you ever been to Ames, Iowa? There's nothing there. Your choices are basketball or meth.
Hey,
And for the rest of the bracket, I'm hoping that those boys chose both.
You didn't tell me there was going to be sports talk on this fucking show.
It's
Yeah.
a social club.
Yeah.
See,
Yeah,
that's
so
what you
yeah,
get, Matt.
anything
I mean,
goes.
the winner of this gets a free Madness EP sent to them. Do I have it around here? I do.
Yeah.
Anything
you're gonna
goes,
want this.
Mazzy. Pizza, bagels.
I do have a record to show this week. It's the prize for the bracket pool winner. This will be sent directly to you.
Looks like
But
VG
for
minus.
Mazzy, since he doesn't watch the show, and he did not enter the bracket pool. Tomorrow's just another day.
I mean,
Actually, it's another day for
sports.
the rest of us until Thursday when the games start up
Giants,
again.
baseball, sports is not my interest, especially college sports. Sorry.
So stay tuned for the next exciting update.
All right, who wants to see what records I bought at the LA Vinyl Con real quick?
Yeah.
We're over what? Now this is 2 hours. We'll be ending this quickly.
Yeah, I gotta.
You got to get ready for your show, right?
I gotta think.
That's all right, Mazzy. You
Coming
don't
up.
ever watch Secret Spins with the Wolfman every night? Talk about music?
No.
Now's your chance.
Oh, now's your chance.
Records. I play them. That's the show. That's literally the show.
Right, music.
No, this week we do a lot of themed weeks and
On YouTube?
So,
On YouTube?
it's right here on YouTube.
Put
And,
the link in the. I might even subscribe. Put the link in. Let me make sure, if you don't mind. Put the link in the comments.
All right.
I'll drop it.
Somebody.
Thank you, appreciate it. But yeah,
course.
it's this week. I mean, it's secret spin, so the whole premise is like, you don't know what it's gonna be unless you tune in. I give a hint with a blurry, blurred out album cover in the thumbnail, but I mean, usually it's pretty obvious what it's gonna be, and then you can kind of guess what the theme will be. Should I just give it away?
What's the
Metallica and Lou Reed, right? Lulu.
Not this
did
week.
you actually-
This week, without giving away the specific records that are going to be hitting the platter, we'll just say that we're exploring the Enoverse.
Oh, nice.
Oh, nice.
Always good.
Right.
So
I guess I
check it out if
I don't-
you're so inclined.
I'm trying to look for this on my phone. I realized I don't even subscribe to Jason Rojas.
Oh,
Wow.
Oh no, we had a whole show when you unsubbed from him. It was a whole 2-hour
good.
topic.
Jeez. The piece
yeah.
lasted as long as the Straight to Hormaz, right? Oof.
So I've got to throw that into my free humming guru and get it all ready for the set coming up.
All right.
So
what
thanks
did
for
I-
having me here this week,
Yeah.
yet again. Good
Thank
times.
you, Wolfman.
Thank you, Wolfman.
Oh, I do.
Thank you,
subscribe.
Will.
And be kind.
But I do subscribe to
Just
Secret
'cause.
Spins. I do subscribe to Secret Spins. So
There you go.
Oh man.
There you go.
Right on. Thank you.
is that
Appreciate it.
is that our original US or UK?
It's a UK. Let's not play.
Oh man.
Oh,
$20.
They're an
20
American
bucks.
band.
Yeah, but they didn't record that in America. Come on.
That's a great record. Now I did see that.
Still have that,
around
yeah.
that time when that came out.
It's pretty good for $20. I think the
It
thing
is.
is
what is
selling.
it? What
This
is it?
is Sparks.
Come on to my
Come on.
house.
Get it? Kimono My House.
I get it. Moby would be offended.
Do you have a US
hope
president to
so.
do a video with?
I may. I don't. I'll have to check.
I'll
But
send you mine. You can have mine.
Cool. That will work out. One of the best deals was getting Maggot Brain for. I'll tell you, I got it for 100. Especially this record's going for what, 300-400 now? That's crazy.
Depending on condition. What's it look like?
Condition VG Plus played well. Just played it this morning. It was great.
What do you think? when
Shootout time.
When the new one comes out, do you think that'll go down in price? 'Cause
No, it won't. It won't.
It'll probably sound better.
Yeah, we did. I did the
'Cause
comparison
those
video.
pressings weren't very good.
I did the comparison video for the first Funkadelic that they put out.
The 45 or the
Yep, the 45 to the original,
you like
and the 45 actually beat out the original. It sounded great. So, and like reading interviews with that team that's putting it out, like the people who are doing the mastering, they've done a great job. They're really into the music, right? They're not trying to do it a disservice, right? I think it's a balance of getting the instruments, but still keeping that vibe of the funk there, right? And this is like not necessarily like a funk record, right? This is more of like a
psychedelic-y little.
yes,
soulful.
right?
I bought the 33, even though it was a digital one of that one, because I just can't handle the 45s.
You can't handle it anymore.
No, the 33 is all analog on this one.
Not on the first
Yeah,
one.
not on the first one, but they
The
changed
new
it.
one, yes, yeah, but not the first one. I got the first one at 33 too. I did buy the In Groove special laminated cover, whatever.
Wait, did you buy it or did you?
I ordered it. I paid for it.
Jeez.
I pre-ordered it. I paid money.
That'd be
I see what
interesting
you're
if
trying
you
to
were
do
getting
there,
on
Joel.
the in-groove train. Like he started,
No,
you know.
I don't get any free records.
Yeah,
from retailers.
that would be interesting.
And I'll show one more. This is a wanker, according to Mazzy. And
is
it's
it Ringo?
Arnaldo. It's Arnaldo's favorite, but it's hard to get Morrissey, the Sunny 45.
I love Morrissey. I like the new album.
The new album's like okay. I like the Roxy Music cover he does. It's good.
Yeah, but it's very similar to the original, really.
Yeah, that's true in some
Should have
ways.
changed it more, but I like it too.
Some guy had this, Jesse, if you're watching, I know you didn't want me to open and check the condition, but come on, man, it's a record show. Like, please,
What? He didn't want you to look at the record?
No. He was like, they're all near mint. Like, he's just like, so I'm supposed to trust you? Like, come on.
Was it in a seal thing?
No. I mean, it was like, what do you call it? Like, yeah, I mean, but you could get
Can't
to
pull
it.
it out?
Resealable.
No, yeah.
I mean,
But he was
what
just
the
too
fuck?
finicky,
What an asshole.
It's okay. I wanted this record, so.
Oh,
Is
yeah.
that what record is that? What song is it?
Do you know the Sunny? That's what it's called. I can't get it angled. Nope, it's not gonna work. There
Show
we
us
go.
the back.
Oh yeah.
What year?
95.
6?
Looks like it has Sunny and Black Eyed something.
Black Eyed Susan.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I think it's around like 95. I think
Yeah.
94. But that is one of my favorite things I bought at the LA Vinyl Con.
So I could have sold you like a really almost perfect cover version of that Maggot Brain for maybe $600 or $700 if you want.
That's okay.
Because once that comes out, I could sell my early copies.
It's probably a good idea. Yeah, if you want to do that. But not.
I can show a couple of records myself. I looked through a whole
Sure.
shitload of records yesterday, real quick. Yeah, I went to a record show a month ago in Binghamton, and a friend of mine, we both were talking with the guy. He's like, "Hey, if you'd like to come to Rochester, I have like 25,000 records there."
Wow.
And we're like, "Sure, we'll do that." And so, long story short, we went yesterday, and he just brought us to a storage space where we looked through a portion of about 12,000. But the motive was a little unclear. Like, is he trying to like wholesale these eventually? Is he trying to sell everything? It became clear later on because I picked out a stack of about 25 records and tried to really see where he was at, offering like 50% on them just to see if he's like wants to sell them for for that around that amount to get him moving, or is he just trying to sell for like dealer prices? And it was pretty clear. I was like, no, he's selling them still for dealer prices, so he wasn't really too negotiable. So I put almost them all back except for 2. Well, 3. One was a $5 record, but I decided to get this Joe Harriet Indio Jazz Fusions.
Wow.
This is the UK pressing, which was cool.
Cool.
The flip back. I just always love the blue Columbia, the UK Columbias. So it's a different cover here in the US. So that was nice. And this one I've never seen before. I don't know if you've seen this one, Mazzy, this Andrew Hill.
Well, I haven't seen that one.
It's
I think
early.
I think I dated that woman though, but I don't.
Isn't that something?
So
this
that's
is
early Andrew Hill, right?
Yeah, and it's interesting to have Malachi Flavors on it, who was like would be in the art ensemble later on. And
Looks like he's a kid there. Is that him?
yeah, and like
What
a lot
label
of the
is
guys,
that on?
that's the funny thing. It's on like the budget Warwick label,
Yes, that's way before Blue Note stuff.
and it's deep groove and everything. It's in beautiful shape. The price was
Jazz
pretty
Bum
good
Dum.
actually. Well, I mean, I wasn't looking for this at all, but it stuck out to me.
The Jazz Dons.
It stuck out to me as something that like this looks kind of unique, and I've never seen it before. And it's,
Dom really likes a record when he's not touching it with his fingers like he normally does.
Can you do that? Can you kind of do that hand position? That's not easy.
yeah, we can try.
And
No, I know. I've gotten a lot of grief about that touching records. I love that.
Dom, I
wrong-
sent
the
you the
wrong way.
Grail record, the one Grail record I'm looking for. I bet you this guy has it.
You did?
So I just sent it to you again now. So if next time you're up there, look for it for me.
Oh, okay. We're supposed to go back, but again, he's like 80 years old. This guy, we thought maybe he would be looking to be a little more aggressive on the price, but we still want to go back and see what else is going on. So
Yeah.
Jason, didn't you get that naked Brazilian record for $800 with a couple on the beach? You know what I'm talking about?
Naked on the beach.
you're talking about the library record. The
Oh,
Well,
no,
there's
no, no,
one
no,
record
no.
at the show in LA. It's like this naked couple, and she's on the beach, sitting up, crossing her.
feelings.
Yeah,
You talking about feelings?
Feelings. No, I didn't get that
And it's
record.
a Brazilian, $800.
Well, that's like the Brazilian version. It's like actually what?
The
What is
Italian
that?
version's the expensive
Yeah.
one.
The Italian one, which is going for I think what, 4,000 or 5,000.
But that's just a naked lady on the cover. There's not a couple. She's like in the grass or whatever, right? Grass.
This is a couple on a beach. He's looking down, like looking at her face. He's looking towards her. Whatever.
That might be something different then.
Yeah, maybe. Is
I
that
also got Blossom Dearie for
Oh, nice.
$5.
That's a good record.
Yeah.
That's Beatles songs on there, right? Or some of them, aren't there? No.
No, she wrote a song called "Hey John." It's about John Lennon.
No, yeah, no Beatles songs on here.
She did one.
Hey John, tribute song to John Lennon.
Yeah.
I didn't. I know her. My friend was like, you should
have
get
that
a few
I have
bucks. Okay. But I
She's
had a
got that-
pile like this, but that's what I ended up with. So
Oh wow, some restraint.
yeah, I'm not into paying. This. Yeah, it's not in the situation I was in. It's like I thought he was going to be a little more.
Do you know this guy?
No,
So
he
you
was a
drove
dealer
and had a guy an old man take you into a storage locker somewhere.
essentially. But I was with my friend. Though we both were there, so it was two of us versus him. We would have taken him down if we had to.
Dom will do anything for records. Let's
I
face
think
it.
that's the beginning to a lot of movies.
We didn't go to his house though, so that's the next. Maybe that's where the trap is.
Chris, do you have anything to show?
I did go to a record show. I met Arnaldo.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Show the one.
I didn't get it. I'll tell you
I
the
thought you said
story.
you did. Oh.
No, I'll tell you why I didn't get it. So I got I never had a press of this, the Neville Brothers Yellow Moon.
Oh wow.
A good price on this. Awesome record. Of course, that's Lenoir, and it's got some Dylan covers on it, and the Yellow Moon was the big
Wait,
hit.
can I see the hype sticker on that?
Oh, the guy put a hype sticker on that. 1989 Daniel Lenoir
okay.
production. Yeah, he was a good dealer. All of his stuff was super clean. I bought from him before, but it's the only thing I could find. I got the Stranglers V-Line. This is with the embossed cover.
Very good.
Went 90s. Got some 12 inches TLC, some Tupac 12 inches. I found this minty clean. I had to get it. Young MC Bust a Move. Why not? I'll probably never listened to it. And then I found this Sonny Stitt record on Roost, a little bit of Stitt. So scoop this. I don't have this record. I don't even think I know it, but I like Sonny Stitt a lot. This is Young Stunny. So yeah, it's a good show. So I texted Dom and Jason about the Alex Chilton like flies on Sherbert. She had a US, which was way overpriced, but then behind on her wall she had
the US.
She had the US.
How much do they have on that?
65.
I thought you said she had the UK.
Yeah, it's
no.
got
If I had the UK, if the UK, I would have jumped on it. She had the US.
No,
I think I got the
No, it's
Can't
the
be.
UK. You
Had to
showed me
be,
the
yeah.
picture.
Did I show you the UK?
Yes.
Which one has the bonus track? The extra track the US does.
The bonus tracks are actually on like a UK or Italian version.
Yeah. Okay. So it was the US. Anyway, so it was like 65, but then she had it in utero behind on her wall. That was immaculate for like 350. So I said to her, I was like, I'll give you 375 for both. And like, without even thinking about it, she's like, no, all my prices are final. So I was like,
No.
okay, I'm not buying these records from you.
Wow, it's a solid offer. Come on.
That was a really good offer. The Chilton was way overpriced, and then the in utero. I mean, it's like I guess it's like a 350, but yeah, I just walked away.
That's solid. Okay.
But she had like she had a Sex Pistols first pressing. She had Smith's Queen is Dead first pressing. I think Arnaldo looked at those. She had
Where
some
was
nice
this?
stuff, but everything
Where
was
was-
very pricey.
Where was
It
the
was
fair?
it was in Elmsford at a brewery, so it's like halfway between me and the city. It was only like 15 dealers, but last year it was like 30 or 40, so I thought it'd be bigger. But there was a couple of guys that go to WFMU that were there, so but yeah, it was a nice couple hours out. But she didn't even like counter offer, so I was like, oh, this isn't gonna happen today, so I walked away.
Gotta know when to hold them.
Mhm.
Plus, she had to deal with Arnaldo and I inspecting the record for warps and stuff. She probably wasn't too happy.
Well, God.
You know, we were like,
Are you doing charades or
great.
something?
It was great.
Whoa, Mark! Shots fired.
What?
She
Okay,
sounds like-
I don't know what I'm missing here, but about that. Okay.
Oh, we were just showing records that we bought this weekend.
Oh no, we're talking. We were initially. Are you talking about the topic, Mazzy? We were initially talking about live music, and then we pivoted towards just like.
No, I know, but if you're talking about permanent record store, Lance, that's what I thought that was referring.
Yeah,
to.
initially I thought I read this as Dickhead, but I think he said Deadhead. I don't know what he's referring to.
Because I was just there Saturday with him.
Yeah, Lance is a cool guy.
Well, listen, guys, there's peace in the VC. I think this is a good way to end the stream.
So you got to bring some of the other people that if you want to continue this at like every few months, one a month maybe.
I doubt they would come, Mazzy, to be honest.
Be surprised. You know, you
Nah.
gotta
Like they
ask.
were, you know, I heard they were like low blowing me, you know, on the Toxic show. So I don't have time for them, you know.
Mazzy, you should take it as a compliment that we pushed to have you on here, because I felt like you were probably level-headed enough to handle the piece in the VC. I don't.
I hope you
maybe
push
the others
the,
aren't.
push the button on this episode, please. Then.
Yeah.
Well, I had said to Jason, only Mazzy's going to have the class to talk to you this
Yes.
weekend. So
Yeah.
I said that. I mean, I knew it.
Yeah.
But
Well, you know, like I said, it was like good to meet you, you know, like and hang out for a
and we've
bit.
met 3 times. That's the
Of
weird
course,
thing
of
about it.
course. There's
And
no.
I'll go back around to that. I don't get what happened after we met twice, so I still don't quite get it. Like what the.
We're cool. We're cool now.
Okay, well, I'll still defend my other friends. So you know,
You can, but like I, you know, like I said, you know, if they're going on toxic streams and doing low blows on me, like I just can't respect them, you know. Like if they're accusing me of being passive aggressive, they, you know, I guess they're not very self-aware, you know. Like they're doing it to me.
Passive aggressive sometimes, Jason. Come on,
yeah,
everyone can be.
Yeah, but I mean, again, if they're going on the Toxic show, you know, to
I
be
don't know
that
what that
way.
is. I
Well, you
know
don't have to, you know.
Yeah.
You're a newbie, so forget about it.
what happened? I did I blink and the wolf disappeared? I'm sorry, I missed.
Well,
that.
he's
Yeah,
getting
he's-
ready for his stream.
He's off
Get
to
his stream.
get makeup. He's got to get makeup.
Yes. He's going to put on another mask.
I rushed home, you know, like OJ jumping off. Oh, that you would. It's a generational thing. When he
The
did
Hertz commercial.
the Hertz commercial. Okay, you
Of course.
remember coming in from the airport, you know, getting home. So
Yeah, kudos to you. You must have just literally hopped
no, I
in.
got home an hour before. I got home 5:15, so my time. So.
Yeah, I know OJ. He ruined my birthday. He killed those poor people on my birthday. I had to deal
What a
with
hack.
No kidding.
Son of a bitch.
Cool.
Yeah, when you get Fremer on the show, right?
It would be great. I mean, to embarrass Joel, I'd be like, so Frem, are we going to do this live hearing test on this stream? You know? Let's do it.
Well, I mean,
Well, I want to thank Mazzy for coming up here. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mazzy.
thank you.
Absolutely, man.
I want to thank Dom, Seeking a Thread, Joel, Static ATX, Chris the Groove Seeker, and Nate Mars, the Wolfman. Catch him on his stream. And I want to thank everyone in the chat. And yeah, we'll see you next time. Peace, everybody.
Peace.
Peace.